on Fox Sports 910.
Well, the Cardinals, they signed Florida State running back Trey Benson. He was the team's third-round pick today. That was good. The signing took place at their training center in Tempe. D-backs, they still got another day before they get to play some baseball in Chicago as that gets underway tomorrow at 11 o'clock our time as the D-backs. One more day off from the All-Star break. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. You've got Jax here as well. No, Manuch still on vacation. We got Chris Schubert back at the iHeartRadio studios, and we are at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. And it's Bikini Week, and this is the last day of Bikini Week. And I think there is a huge group of people here.
There is.
I mean, normally they have a good lunch crowd, but this is probably an extra 100 people here, so they're having a good time. And we are at our little area here when you first walk in, and we'll be here till 4 o'clock. But as we get into some of the headlines, I mentioned Trey Benson. Of course, he is that running back who will give this team a much-needed lift. If he can put up the type of numbers he did at Florida State. He did start his career at Oregon, then went to Florida State. But in the past couple of years, he's had 16 starts in 27 games. He finished his career with 36 total games, 16 starts. All ACC second-team selection last year. He ran for just under 1,000 yards, 906 to be exact, 14 touchdowns. He also had 20 receptions for another 227 yards. So we're anxious to see what he could do. He's also he returned kicks at Florida State. Not sure if he will do that with the Cardinals because I think they got a couple guys already filled there. But it'd be good. It's good. You never can have enough of those guys.
I watched several of his games because, remember, Florida State was undefeated, and they were rolling. And so that made my interest in Florida State peak a little more. And I saw Benson. And I thought, man, this kid just can play. And so I thought, to be honest with you, Rock, this could be, and I know that there will be others, but this could be one of the best steals of the NFL draft. Really is. I mean, the kid is talented. And what I liked was he can catch the ball as well. 20 receptions, as you referenced, for over 200 yards. He has the ability to come out of that backfield, read the defense, make the catch, and then turn it into extra yardage. I think that's going to be a real nice opportunity for Kyler Murray. If in things everybody's covered, then he can drop that ball off to the running back, and he knows that running back is going to be successful.
On a national level, big story today, the Clippers and the Jazz did a sign-and-trade deal with Russell Westbrook, who is expected to join the Nuggets after Utah waives him and buys out the remainder of his contract, at least according to ESPN. The Clippers are going to receive Chris Dunn from the Jazz for Westbrook, a second-round draft pick swap, and some cash. Westbrook's coming off a season where he averaged a career low, just 11 points for the Clippers, but he's expected to clear waivers, and he will be a Utah Jazz.
I love this move by Denver. Look, coming down the stretch when Paul George...
Nuggets.
Yes, no, for the Jazz to acquire him and then let him go, and then Denver will take over.
Yeah.
So, but I watched a lot of Westbrook, and when Paul George was out, when Kawhi Leonard was out, it was Russell Westbrook who was carrying that offense. And, Rock, you'll remember 2 years ago when the Suns played against the Clippers and those guys weren't playing, Westbrook played a tremendous 4 or 5 games for the Clippers in that playoff run. He still has plenty of gas left in the tank. He's going to be an excellent complement to Jamal Murray. They might even play those guys at the same time a little bit from time to time to really speed up the game. But when Jamal Murray sits and Westbrook is on the court, they are not going to lose a lot. Now, I know he struggles with his outside shooting, and I'm pretty sure that that will continue to be somewhat of an issue. But for a guy who plays as hard as he does every minute of every game, this is a great pickup for Denver.
What if Phoenix gets involved in this?
I
mean, could there be a scenario where he can come in? I mean, why not get another point guard, a backup point guard, a veteran?
with their
I don't understand how the NBA works.
well,
where they already know he's going to clear waivers and
Yes.
Denver's going to grab him.
yes.
Because Denver is in the pecking order to get before Phoenix.
No, but Phoenix is on that apron, that tier 2 apron. And they can't do anything. Yeah. Look, I would have loved to have seen him here.
Me too.
I thought it would have been a perfect fit here because he moves the ball. Budenholzer wants to move the basketball.
Not to mention, he just invested in the park.
He did.
The Arizona grounds out there in Mesa, formerly Legacy Sports Park. So he just invested in that park. So, hey, he's got a reason to be here.
Yeah.
He's going to start having some of his camps and things.
Yeah.
Because, the Nuggets, they lost KCP. They lost Reggie Jackson.
Right.
They all left in free agency. So, I don't know. It just sucks that the Suns are so
they're cash strapped. They
cash strapped
yeah,
to
they
be able
can't
to
move.
do anything.
Yes, they can't move.
Oh, man. Hey, locally in basketball, this is kind of cool for you Arizona State fans. As the Sun Devil men's basketball team, they're going to participate in the Hall of Fame Classic on December 21st. It's in UMass, in Springfield, as the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame announced the 4 teams. And it will be UMass playing Arizona State and Rhode Island and Temple. How about that?
That'll be fun. That'll be a good time. By the way, since he's going to be in Rhode Island, those states are so small, you can drive from the University of Rhode Island up to Yukon over in Storrs, Connecticut in about an hour and a half. So he and his brother can hang out. So that'll be fun as well. I'll look forward to that.
You would?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're fun. They're fun guys. Away from the court, they're fun guys to be around.
British Open underway. We're going to have an update here in a few as we have our Vans golf shop updates. Jax will have that for you in just a few minutes. Tiger Woods had a disastrous first day, which is just unfortunate. We'll leave that to Jax to fill in the hole there. But it's pretty much 8 over 79. He's currently tied for 139th the last I looked. So he had 6 bogeys, 2 double bogeys against only 2 birdies. Shane Lowry is the leader currently.
I watched some of Tiger. When he got out early, he was 1 under, Rock. And then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off the wagon.
The weather also started to change.
It did.
Steve Dalby's going to join us here in about 15, 20 minutes on site. We'll talk to him about the Open. He also has some information about the Live Tour that he wants to pass along for us as well. But, I love majors, but I can't stand the time difference. Hate it.
You told me yesterday you're a morning guy. So
I am. I've been up
wheelhouse.
since 3 a.m. Literally 3 a.m.
Why?
Just can't sleep.
Wow.
So I'm up, and
Okay.
I got to prep for the show since no one else does. So I got to get all the sound. Wait till you hear. It's a throwback Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm bringing it.
Okay.
And at the expense of Chris Schubert and all you Jets fans. I'm going to school you guys today.
I saw all the sound listed. It's great. Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to do that, though. What time did I have that on this lineup?
I thought it was in the second section.
I may move it up.
Okay.
I think I'm going to move it up to our next. I'm going to, yeah. I was going to do it in the 4th, but I think I'm going to move it up to our next segment because it's that good.
I got hold on because if you're going to do that, I
can't hear you if you're talking. I hear Schubert a little bit.
I gotta go to corporate if you're gonna do something like that. So just give me.
Well,
the break
no. If you were a Giants fan, you would have no problem moving it up. You would have started the show with
right away. Yeah, corporate would have cleared that right away. But this, I have to get it cleared. So stand by.
All right. If you're not ready, you could just say you're not ready for it. I mean, if you're still pulling it all together, then I'm okay with that. But we are out here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. Be here till 4 o'clock. No Manuch today. Jimmy B bringing it in as always. Jax as well as Chris Schubert. Those are the top headlines, which are brought to you every day by the Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. You can bet the game. You can watch the game. They got 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all of the betting lines. So check it out yourself, the Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's kind of unfortunate. The last couple of days, nothing on television to watch other than the British Open.
Well, and
nothing.
I'm with you on that. I watched.
Well, what do you mean? And
I watched wrestling last night.
What was on wrestling?
AEW wrestling. Yeah, I
What
watched
is that?
some of that.
Never heard of it. Is it
All
like a
elite.
single A WWE?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, it is. So it's professional.
Yeah, it's professional wrestling. Yeah.
Where do they have their fights?
They run their shows on location. I think they were in Little Rock, Arkansas last night. I think that's where they were.
So what net were you streaming it?
No,
Or how'd you find
it was on TNT or TBS, one of those. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Wednesday night. See, if you're bored out of your mind.
No, I won't. I'd rather watch paint dry than fake wrestling.
I had to find
amazing.
something.
It's amazing to me the popularity of something so fake. It's the entertainment value is so big. I get it.
Yeah.
But they have tremendous numbers.
They do.
I mean, they do such a good job of making money with
a product that is predetermined.
Predetermined.
Yeah.
And maybe Jax or Shu can answer this, but I remember last year I reported that you were going to be able to bet wrestling. Whatever happened with that? WWE, I believe. I thought you were going to be able to bet.
Shu, do you know anything about that? Because I haven't seen anything.
Because I didn't understand that. For something
I
that's
didn't
scripted,
Yeah.
how could you bet it?
So I remember the story that you're referencing, that you talked about how WWE was kind of talking to these betting markets to see if they could offer these odds. Nothing has ever come of that, but you can on offshore betting sites. There are odds for winners for all of the major WWE events.
That's just wrong.
I mean, everybody. Well, nobody really knows who's going to win except for the front office brass who write the scripts for all of the shenanigans that go on in the ring. Look, you're
but
right.
like the Royal Rumble, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you're going to be able to bet that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick who wins. Yeah, every year they have this and the odds come out. And then normally whoever the favorite is, they're the favorite because somebody found out that they're going to probably win. And so, yeah, that's what happens.
I mean, I would think that would be an easy green shake to someone.
Well,
not really. Sometimes they'll throw you a curveball, and the person that's supposed to be the favorite, they
Drew
don't win.
McIntyre, Chad Cable, LA Knight.
See, listen to you, Rock. See,
it's not hard. It's called Google.
That was great.
It's called Google. Yeah. But they got betting odds already. It's a Uso or how do you say that?
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
He's the top. Is he the top wrestler?
He's one of them. And Jimmy Uso, his brother. Yeah.
They both wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both stars in that company. I mean, it's look, when there's nothing on, that's what I went for. So I had to confess it because I can't lie to you because you're the freaking boss. So I could have said I was watching The Wizard of Oz, and you would have scoffed at me. So I figured I better tell you.
And you're not on TikTok, are you?
Oh, never.
I am just
never
from 3 to 5 last
You're
night.
on TikTok?
TikTok.
You're glued? Oh.
Even to the point where I bought this new, it's a TikTok ring where you put it on your finger, your index finger, and you just press a button and it gets to the next video. Break. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
See,
it's like $8.
Jax wants that.
TikTok store.
TikTok
I got home
HD.
yesterday. A bag as big as this table was at my front step. And I didn't realize all the crap that I bought off TikTok Shop late at night.
Wow.
A lot of crap.
Wow.
Hey, pretty cool stuff yesterday in regards to Calvin Sullivan, the 14-year-old, became the youngest player to debut in MLS history. We're going to get into that. Jack's golf. And if approved during the break, I'm going to absolutely blast the New York Jets because finally – there's a talking head on ESPN who came out and said he's tired of talking about the Jets.
Good.
More Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks next.
What's up,
Clear.
Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
Do you have an upcoming event or charity golf tournament that needs free exposure? Or how about free tickets or promotional items? Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to help you be successful. The guys will promote it on the air and at rocandmanuch.com. Just go to rocandmanuch.com and click on events. Submit your event, and in 3 days, the guys will be on the air promoting.
Don't know if I have that approval.
Page at rocandmanuch.com. Thanks for listening.
Do you ever have a case of the
I can mark it and send it off.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from 1 till 4 as they broadcast live from the CAG Sportsbook at the CAG Sports Bar. That's every Monday from Casino, Arizona.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation.
That's not the spirit of the Mount Rushmore.
Symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
You don't want the Vans thing?
Comment l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Time for your latest Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B leaderboard update presented by Vans Golf Shops. It's just in time. Again at the PGA Championship. Swinging a Vans.
So just hold, there's a cut of Lowry making a birdie.
Golf Shops. Unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
Oh, yes. Right in the front door.
You're hot.
Lowry hits the lead.
Shane Lowry, Daniel Brown tied for the lead at 5 under apiece, followed by Justin Thomas at 3 under, and some notable names including Justin Rose, Xander Schauffele at 2 under, Brooks Koepka, Matt Fitzpatrick, Scotty Scheffler at 1 under, and another name to look out for, and I think a guy that will have a good second day, Tony Finau at even. Other than that, a ton of notable players that did not play well. Tiger Woods, like you mentioned, Rock, 8 over. Victor Hovland, 4 over. But probably the most shocking, coming after that U.S. Open missed putt, Rory McIlroy, 7 over for today.
I don't know if he's the guy that you're concerned about. DeChambeau, I think, is the one that really blew up, too.
Yeah.
And he's coming off a U.S. Open win.
Yeah.
5 over.
Yeah. I mean, there were the weather changed dramatically, which happens there all the time. And it could be sunny and 70, and within 10 minutes, it can be 48, wind sideways, and rain. And the conditions were ever changing like they normally are for a British Open.
So let's get to our Document Solutions sounds of the night. This is going to take us out to the debut of Calvin Sullivan, a 14-year-old who became the youngest player to debut in MLS history.
Tim Curtin has said his job is to be a 14-year-old kid. It's not some gimmicky thing to get headlines or sell tickets. This kid is ready. And Calvin Sullivan, the history maker, now enters this arena.
Apple TV with the call there. Philadelphia Union, 14 years old, 293 days.
Freddie Adu was the first of the young guys to make his debut. And now Sullivan is even younger than Freddie Adu.
I think it's amazing. 14-year-old.
I know. I'm telling you.
Professional athlete.
I'm telling you,
in
Rock,
soccer, a team sport.
Yes. Well,
I can see tennis. I can see golf.
Jennifer Capriati.
Yeah, I can see it in those type of sports, individual sports. But
Yes.
when you're playing a team sport
sport
with so many players trying to make a team,
yes,
a 14-year-old, you're getting beat out by a 14-year-old. Just think about that. This kid must be a phenom.
He is. Absolute. He's terrific.
So Lewis Reddick was on Get Up,
Uh-huh.
and I want you to hear what he had to say about Chris Schubert's beloved Jets, and for all you Jet fans, because I think most of you non-Jet fans are absolutely just sick and freaking tired of ESPN. Like right now, I mean, it's on all the time.
Constantly.
All the time. Jets, Jets, Jets. Just come on. Be different if they're coming off a Super Bowl win or having a playoff win.
Playoff win, yeah, even that.
But no, they're going to be horrible once again. And here's Lewis Reddick and what he had to say.
Let's go ahead and finish it up.
Why don't they try and go out and get Trent Williams too? And maybe they should go out and try and get, Lane Johnson too, since, why not? Why don't they just try and get everybody? Just ask every team, hey, can I have your best player? Can I get your best player? You know what? So, we spend so much time talking about, listen, how about the quarterback just stays healthy? How about they just protect him? How about he just stays on the field for 17 games? How about they just do that? All right? How about Greeny? I'm tired of your team, to be honest with you, dude. I'm tired of talking about your team.
I
tired of
understand
talking
that.
about your team, man. They're fine right now. They're fine. Just let them play.
We don't
just
need
let them
fine.
play. I actually think they're good enough right now to compete.
So he's done.
He's done with them.
I think that's great. I mean, Lewis Reddick, I've got so much more respect for him now for just going on television
and saying that
on Greeny's show. Of course, Greeny, who is a huge Jet fan.
He is.
So it is a Throwback Thursday. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to poke some fun at the New York Jets. So we're going to go back in time and some parodies. And everyone knows Elton John's Benny and the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the first bit when they signed Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers on the Jets.
Wait till you hear the Brett Favre one that's coming. Then he did his press conference as a new member. This is all April of 2023, okay? And what was great about this is he said they were going to win it all.
This is a surreal day for me. After spending 18 years in the same city, I'm here because I believe in this team. I believe in Coach Saleh. A big thanks to the Jets organization. Obviously, a big thanks to the Green Bay Packers organization for an incredible run. That chapter is over now, and I'm excited about the new adventure here in New York. I'm an old guy, so I want to be a part of a team that can win it all, and I believe that this is a place we can get that done.
I doubt it. So Tom Brady was doing an interview back in August of 2010.
Okay.
2010.
Yeah.
And back then, Hard Knocks also was doing a show focusing on the New York Jets. So Tom Brady's doing one of his hits on a Boston radio show, WEEI in Boston, and he was asked if he watched the show. And here's what he had to say about his love for the Jets.
Honestly, I haven't turned it on. And I hate the Jets, so I refuse to support that show. I'm sure it's great TV. I'm glad people are liking it, but that's just something I have no interest in watching. Yeah, I'd love to say a lot of mean things, but I'd rather not do that either.
I wonder if he gets a Jets game, what he's going to say.
Put that bad boy on mute. Put that bad boy on mute.
That's also, 14 years ago.
I know, amazing.
Now, when the Packers traded Brett Favre to the New York Jets, Elton John decided to put a tribute to the Hall of Famer. Now, this is, again, a Throwback Thursday, so this is taking you back. Very similar to Aaron Rodgers, but listen carefully to the words because it's phenomenal.
Green Bay takes the lead, and Favre joins Marino in the history book.
Who said Favre doesn't have the arm, the cannon? Look at him. He's excited. He's got it. Who else would you want on center stage in a circumstance like that? And in one play, boom, ball game.
Hey, kids, wilder and forever, wherever Mike McCarthy would keep the pack together. Number 4 decided not to stick around. Traded Hall of Famers or in New York bound. Say, Aaron Rodgers, there's no need to sweat. Oh, 'cause the news is out. Brett Favre is a Jet. The Packers drop the ball. Goes if there's an injury. They're stuck with Pro and Cliff, two guys who just can't win. And number 4 is with another team.
1 minute.
The Jets.
With that touchdown pass, Brett Favre establishes a new NFL record for career touchdown passes at 421. On behalf of everyone in the National Football League, we congratulate Brett Favre.
So what I want to do one more before we catch up with Steve Dalby, talk some British Open. If you recall, Jet fans, in 2009, you decided to trade up to get your quarterback at the number 5 pick overall in the 2029 NFL Draft. And here it is.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mark Sanchez, quarterback, USC.
How'd that work out for you?
Hey, got to the AFC Championship game twice.
Didn't work out.
Wait, whoa. So he didn't get
The
to a
Jets
Super
suck.
Bowl. He did get to the AFC Championship twice. Okay. So
The Jets have not had a quarterback since Joe Namath.
well,
The Jets suck.
Yes. I mean, Joe Namath couldn't even do the coin toss back in the Super Bowl. Remember, he came out with that fur coat?
I remember that.
Jeez. Anyway, a little
Was that
throwback. Go
Was
ahead.
that different than the Monday Night Football
Oh,
fur coat
boy.
that he had on? That was different, right?
Yeah, a little bit
I
different,
just want to
yeah.
kiss you.
Hey, we're out here at Twin Peaks. Coming up, we'll catch up with PGA Tour golf instructor Steve. He'll break down Royal Troon and what happened today and what will happen tomorrow as he joins us here live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale. It's Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Diamondbacks have their 2025 MLB schedule. They'll begin their season March 27th at home against the Cubs. Back to this season, the Snakes open the second half of 2024 tomorrow, also against the Cubs. Starting pitchers have not been announced. The Suns beat the Thunder yesterday for their first win of Summer League. They're back at it tomorrow against the Bucks. Mercury teammates Brittany Griner and Sophie Cunningham will participate in the WNBA Skills Challenge tomorrow as part of this weekend's All-Star festivities at Footprint Center. And the Cardinals 5 days out from reporting to training camp. The first practice takes place a week from today. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at G2GBar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Need an electric charger installed or a TV mounted? Contact AC Electrical Family at aceelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392. That's aceelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Power up with the best.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out
on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy. And that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Elf Beauty. The Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse season starts tonight with a doubleheader. Team Glenn versus Team Apuzzo, then Team Marino versus Team Bosco. AU Lacrosse is a 4-week, 56-player held in Sparks, Maryland.
What's going on?
24 games scheduled between today
Missed you too.
and the August.
Hey, can I get less background noise, please, gentlemen?
ESPNU starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. For more women's sports stories, be sure to subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
When it comes to women in sports, Elf Beauty is all about leveling the playing field. The same goes for the boardroom, where Elf is one of only 4 publicly traded U.S. companies with a board that's 2/3 women and 1/3 diverse. Learn more at elfbeauty.com.
Yeah, there it is, coming left to right.
This is Daniel Brown to tie.
Okay. Two leaders at the Open.
You're hot.
There we have it. The British Open. Daniel Brown ties Shane Lowry as we're making it quite interesting at the Open at Royal Troon. Joining us now, Steve Dalby, a friend of the program, on location. He heard it was Bikini Week at Twin Peaks, and his wife's out of town, so he figured, hey, let's go see Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, and Schubert and Jackson, hang out and talk some golf. Do you have any players there?
I do not. I have. Now, there is another tournament going on this week. Some of the guys on the PGA Tour that didn't qualify for the British Open are in Truckee, California, Reno, Truckee. And so there is another tournament going on. So Troy Merritt and Sean O'Hare, who I work with, are over there. And these are guys that are battling for their lives, basically. They're, their
cards.
The cards, the FedEx points. And so you've got two different situations. You've got the guys playing in the British Open this week or the Open Championship who are going to, the guys that are PGA Tour members, they're going to get in the FedEx playoffs. They're going to be in that 70 or better, and that's going to allow them kind of a free pass in the fall. If you're not in that top 70, then you're kind of battling for your life. You're trying to be, by the end of the year, number 125 or better so that you have a job next year. So there's lots of stuff going on this late summer and early fall, lots of meaningful golf. But today was interesting to see what happened at Royal Troon. And Rock, as you know, Troon Country Club here in Scottsdale is a dedication to Royal Troon. Tom Weiskopf, who was the 1973 champion at Royal Troon. This Troon Country Club was his first partnering in a course design. And so that is basically Tom Weiskopf's first choice of name and Troon Country Club. And so Troon Country Club, then Troon North, which he was involved with, Troon Golf, which is a huge company that manages, zillions of golf courses around the world. It all started with Royal Troon.
That's an amazing story. Before we get into the Scottish Open, let me follow up.
That was last week.
I mean the British Open. Thank you. Let me just follow up quickly on what you stated, because you were talking about guys playing golf in Truckee, trying to maintain, playing for their lives. Explain to our listeners, because I think a lot of people just say, oh, well, those are the professional golfers. How difficult is it to get your card and stay on the tour?
Yeah, well, Troy Merritt, who I've worked with, I think we're in season 13. He is the 200th best player in the world right now. He is the 200th best golfer in the world. And he is right now trying to position himself so that hopefully something good happens in the next couple of weeks and he can get in the FedEx playoffs. But right now he's 129 on the FedEx list. So he needs to, by the end of the year, be 125 or better to have a job. And you think about that. If you're the 200th best lawyer in the world, you don't have to worry. If you're the 200th best doctor in the world, you don't have to worry. Golf is so hard. And what you saw today at Royal Troon was some of the best golfers in the world really struggling, because today, and I love this, Jimmy, I love when 3 or 4 or 5 over par is going to be the cut tomorrow.
Yeah.
You saw the golf course win. It wasn't the players today. It was the golf course and the weather. The wind changed directions from the practice rounds, and all of a sudden it was colder. the guys had to really try to play golf. It wasn't just bomb it and go chase it. It's guys, and I think the guy that's going to end up the winner is the guy that can control the ball off the tee, hit fairways. The green speeds are slower than a lot of the guys are used to. So it's going to be an all-around player that becomes the champion.
Following up on what Jimmy mentioned about, playing for your card, how does the live play into this? Giving professional golfers some other opportunities.
So right now, the guys that there are some guys on live that are playing this week at Royal Troon, and so there are still ways for live players to play in some of the big events. You see, and I think it's great. We want to see Bryson DeChambeau play. We want to see Brooks Koepka, whether you like him or not. You want to see him play. There's a couple other guys on the live. You want to see Smith play. You want to see
John Rahm,
Joaquin Noy, and Rahm. Although
I want to talk about him.
Yeah,
in a minute.
although I think his popularity has maybe waned a little bit.
That's where I want to go. Hold on, we'll get to that. Yeah, that's on my list.
But there are ways for these guys to get into the tournaments, but they're going to have to play very well, or in the next few years, unless the PGA Tour and LIV come together with some kind of agreement, and they're working on that. These guys could lose their ability to get in these tournaments if they don't perform in the very few tournaments. Now, Bryson, he's won U.S. Opens. He's playing good golf. He's arguably the best player in the world right now, other than Scheffler. He's going to be okay. But some of these guys, Patrick Reed, for example, if he doesn't play well, you're not going to see his name in major championships other than the Masters because he's a former champion.
I want to go back to what I was trying to get to is guys that are playing right now in the PGA Tour that don't make the cut at the end of the year, don't get enough points. How does it work with trying to get on the LIV Tour? That's where I'm asking. How do you get to the other way around?
So if you are, the LIV Tour is invitation. It's by invitation.
So you have to be invitation only.
It's by invitation. I think they did have one small qualifier where they took like 5 guys last year, but it's by invitation basically. And it's a different format. And so you've got a different league. It's a very casual league from what I've been told. Guys aren't working as hard with their games. It's guaranteed money. And for I'm friends with Pat Perez. I'm very happy for Pat. If he's happy, I'm happy. If he made a bunch of money going to LIV, I think that's great. But for some of these guys, it is interesting because some of them want to get back to the PGA Tour. There's guys on the PGA Tour that probably would love a big check. They're still working that out.
What about Phil Mickelson? Going to your point, I mean, he's still playing at a very high level, but there are a lot of people that don't like him, and I understand why. But I know the Senior Tour is there, Champions Tour is ready. Well, could he leave LIV and then play?
He is not a member of the PGA Tour now. That's been taken away from him. All the guys that were members of the PGA Tour that went to LIV,
that's going to change, don't you think? With the merger,
I've had a chat with one of the guys on the policy board. You say merger, I'm not sure about that quite yet.
Right.
That's to be determined. I think there will. I think there will be something that comes together, but there are some guys on that board that are very much of the opinion that, and it's kind of my opinion, that these guys made a decision. They left. That's fine, but it shouldn't be that it coming back is so easy. So right now, to your point, Rock, Phil Mickelson is not eligible to play the Champions Tour. He's not a member of the PGA Tour, so he's not eligible unless something changes.
It's my impression that some of the research that I have done on what you're just discussing here about how some of the LIV golfers, other than taking the big check, wish they never would have left. I get that feeling from John Rahm. He probably wishes he shouldn't left, but you can't turn that kind of money down, and I understand that. In your analysis, and you touched on it briefly, I'd like to have you go into it more in depth. Do you really think that in the next year there will be a merger, or do you think that this is just going to kind of be on a slow track until people start to leave both tours again?
I think what you might see, Jimmy, is that you might see, I don't think you're going to have a merger where everybody comes back, but I think you might see a series of tournaments where both LIV players and PGA Tour players could play. There might be 4 or 5 sort of, let's say, World Tour events. That's what I could see happening. those tour events might be able to get world ranking points. That's the problem with that the live players have right now. Their tournaments, you can't give world ranking points through a live event, so you're losing your world ranking, so you're not in time, you're not going to be able to be invited to these tournaments. So I could see that happening. I do think there might be a pathway back for some guys that want to get to the PGA Tour, but I do know that there are a couple guys that don't think that that should be easy, and I'm of that opinion as well.
What is to get to the point where you're going to let them come back for majors, but you're not going to let them come back to say the Waste Management team's open?
So the majors are not.
They're not under the PGA.
They're not under the PGA Tour. The PGA of America has the PGA Championship, the USGA, the Royal and Ancient, the committee at the Masters. So that's up to those tournaments to invite players, and they've decided to let the live players that are good enough to play in those events. So I think that you're looking at very, very complicated different things, and then obviously the PGA Tour, you've got players that are on policy board, and I think that's great, but they also need business help, and they have now an agreement with that Fenway group.
Yeah.
So and I don't.
Equity.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're going to get more business advice from them, and I don't know what their opinion is about bringing everybody back.
We brought up John Rahm, +2 today. A lot of guys at +2 right now, tied for 41st with a bunch of guys. He was kind of the darling of the PGA 3 years ago. Goes over and plays in the Live Tour, and you don't hear from him anymore. And a guy that's a local product that I think a lot of people were following his career, and now he's kind of just out there, and no one's really paying attention. I think he's going to have to be in contention on a Sunday for him to be relevant again.
Well, and that's the thing. I think right now you do have a few players. There's, I think, a handful of players on Live that you care about. But right now, do we really care what Dustin Johnson's doing? Do we really care what Patrick Reed's doing?
And they were fun to watch on the tour, though.
I understand that.
3.
But they're also, they're getting Dustin Johnson's past his prime, and if you watched what he had to say on the Netflix thing, it's just been a decision to take money, and that's okay.
Yeah,
but I
don't
think,
fault the guys for that.
I think the one thing that I would say, I think the PGA Tour could do a better job of marketing their young guys and making them the next group of stars, and I think that's been a problem because I think there are a lot of good players on the PGA Tour, but the stories don't always seem to come out. It's Rory McIlroy, what he's doing this week, next week. Well, let's see what some of the other guys. Let's make Colin Morikawa more of a star.
Yes.
Let's make Xander Schauffele more of a star. And Rock, that's, you've marketed all your life. That's kind of the thing that I would say the PGA Tour has lacked, and hopefully they can do a little bit more of that. But to me, the Live guys, my opinion is they can just go away. That's just my opinion.
And you're part of the PGA. You have that right too. I think when you look at like Robert McIntyre last week, he's a guy's guy. Young kid coming up, doesn't care about, being proper, comes out and says, hey, I'm going to get drunk tonight, and I know the PGA Tour doesn't like hearing that, but, you look how popular John Daly was because he was a guy's guy. Right. Us amateurs, us 10 handicap, 20 handicap guys love to follow those guys. Right. You think you have a chance when you fire a 79 that one Saturday in March, So I just wonder if they are listening and they are going to make some changes when they get more money to start marketing these guys. And they got to market them outside the Golf Channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. It has to be, I think, everywhere, right? It has to be everywhere.
More mainstream marketing.
Yeah. And you like that guy that plays in the Phoenix Open, the Waste Management Open. You like that guy that might be sitting at the end of the bar here at Twin Peaks Scottsdale after he plays that round. It is, that's, and you've seen it.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And that's the stories that sometimes we'd like a little bit more. We'd like to know more about, love Joel Damon. He's, let's.
And he was great in Netflix.
Yeah.
And he lives in Scottsdale.
Let's even make him more and more a story.
But he's got to make
some
cuts.
of the other guys. Yeah, he's got to play a little bit.
You guys got to play a little better. Hey, you stick around another. You got time for another segment?
Awesome.
All right, you guys will stick with us for another segment. We're out here at Twin Peaks Scottsdale. It's Fox Sports 910.
Time to line your pockets with Bonus Bucks.
Fat stacks of cash.
Be listening every weekday for your chance to win $1,000.
Oh my God.
Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, Arizona, it's your local accident attorney, Kevin Rowe. Results matter, so we want to help you win $1,000. Powered by Lerner and Rowe Accident Attorneys, where we treat you like family. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today at 977-1900.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Do you have an upcoming event or charity golf tournament that needs free exposure? Or how about free tickets or promotional items? Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to help you be successful. The guys will promote it on the air and at rocandmanuch.com. Just go to rocandmanuch.com and click on events. Submit your event, and in 3 days, the guys will be on the air promoting your events for free. That's the events page at rocandmanuch.com. Thanks for listening.
Attention drivers, stay alert, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, supports the move over law. If you see emergency lights, move over and slow down. Let's keep our roads safe for everyone. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Need an all-in-one wireless copier and printer or IT help for your business? Call Document Solutions of the Valley, the official copier and IT solutions company for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Document Solutions is leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. They'll support your business no matter how big or small. Take advantage of either buying, leasing, or renting many makes and models of copiers. For a free quote, call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Ooh, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girls.
Hit the road. How about some free gas?
Free gas.
Yep, I got you.
Febreze car for some serious freshness, and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You may not win, but you're gonna have a fresh smelling whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now, how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
La 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 la.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter in 73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language,
yes, sir,
Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes,
never lost it.
Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Imagine needing notes.
Actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?"
He was the notes guy.
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une...
You and I were the chaos guys.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's B-A-B.
You would have a whole thing planned, Dolby and I would be like, nah, we're going this way.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101.
You're hot.
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910 out here, Twin Peaks, Scottsdale. Mike Yam from the NFL Network is going to join us next hour. Looking forward to talking some NFL football as camp is getting underway. Texans reported yesterday. Chicago, I believe, is tomorrow. But we're talking some golf, the Open Championship at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. And Tiger Woods, disastrous day, +9. Earlier this week, he addressed some of the comments by Colin Montgomery, the former world #2 player, who suggested that it might be time for him to retire. When you hear somebody, Steve, come out who was a great player, and he was very vocal. We know where it's coming from, but it doesn't matter whoever says it. What are your thoughts? I mean, Tiger has struggled quite a bit. I mean, but he's had injuries, and but he still has a passion for the game. He should be able to play as long as he wants, or do you make him exempt?
Well, I think, and I thought Tiger had a great response. He's like, I am exempt until I'm 60. And Colin, you're not because you didn't win. So I'm going to play till I'm
Follow the
60,
rules,
and
yeah.
I'll figure it out. And it wasn't that long ago that Tom Watson actually made a charge to win this Open Championship. I think
that.
at 59 or 60 years old. So I think what Tiger still wants to compete. His body is really, really shattered, but he still has that competitiveness in his body and his soul. And so I think he always thinks, given the right situation, stars line up, I can still maybe have one more day in the sun. And I think that he absolutely deserves that. I'm sure Colin Montgomery, I'm sure that he wasn't trying to be maybe as mean as it came out, just probably pointing out that, hey, his game isn't up to Tiger's standards. But as you said, Rock, I think that Tiger can play as long as he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he turned golf around for so many people. I mean, hands down. And he's 48 years old, so he'll be 49 at the end of the year. So he's got one more year, and then put him on the Champions, and he'll probably have a lot of success.
He would destroy the Champions.
I don't know if he'll destroy.
Oh, he would.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things, Jimmy, on the Champions Tour, there's a lot of events where you're allowed to ride in a cart.
Yes.
So that is going to help him a lot. And 54-hole events. There are some 72-hole events, but there's a lot of 54-hole events. So I do think, and I've heard that he wants to play the Champions Tour. So there were, a few years ago, he said, I won't do that.
Yeah.
But I think that you will see him out there, and I think everybody will love that.
The tour will love it.
Yeah, the tour,
Champions
and that'll be a big boost for the Champions Tour.
Like the Schwab does well here at Phoenix Country Club. It's a great event. But it doesn't get the people like I think they'd love to see. It'll never be a Phoenix Open, and they don't want it that big. But it'd be nice to see more people at the Champions. I remember when it used to be up at Desert Mountain, when it was Superstition Springs. I mean, we all went. I mean, it was always fun to go because you got up and close, and but that's when Jack was still playing and Arnie and all that, and that was a lot of fun. But I do still look at some of these guys on that Champions Tour. Somebody quite well, Steve Stricker. He's been playing some great golf.
Yeah, he played really, really well last year. He's not playing as well this year. However, I think it's been kind of nice because this year on the Champions Tour, the name that sort of popped up, Ernie Els. Ernie Els was won, 3 or 4 times. And I think it's fun to see Ernie Els playing some good golf because if you remember, probably 5 years ago when he was at the Masters, he had the putting problems. And I think he might have even 4 or 5 putted the first hole. It was sad to watch that, but he seemed to have, he's got his game under control, and it's fun to see him playing well. But no, I've talked to Strick a bunch of times, and I think last year was really, really a great year for him. His father passed away in the fall. He's very family oriented, so I do think his schedule will change a little bit. He's probably not going to play quite as much as he has in the past. But, what a great guy. And
speaking of great, Daniel Brown, -6. He birdied the last hole and in 18, and he shoots a 65, 6 under. Then Shane Lowry's 5 under. And then Justin Thomas, who has been struggling. It's good to see him have success. You talk about younger guys. He's still on that. He's probably on that. Right on the cuff there, right? As being the younger guy. Is he still in that?
I think he's
Rory,
still, I think
not Rory, but more of a Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, that whole crew.
Yep. No, I think he still is in that younger generation of guys. And you hope, for the PGA Tour's sake, you hope that Jordan Spieth, you hope that Justin Thomas, they have a little more in them so that you find those stars again. The thing that you saw today at Royal Troon was the guys that played really early. Justin Thomas was one of them. The wind laid down a little bit, and he got out there where the flags weren't moving around too much. Then when we all woke up today and turned on the TV this morning, you saw the winds moving. There was rain. The course played very, very hard, and the wind direction that they had practiced in flipped around, so the holes were different. And then this afternoon, the winds laid down a little bit, and so that's where I think you see a guy like Daniel Brown fortunate to be out late where the winds died down and put on a good show to be the leader at 6 under.
You got a favorite throughout the tournament or not?
Not yet. I think you got to wait and see exactly what happens because I don't know exactly what the tee times are, but some of these guys that benefited today might not benefit tomorrow, and it could flip around a little bit. But there's guys like Bryson DeChambeau who's got a lot of work left, and this golf course might not be perfect for his game. He's a guy that talks about launch angle, that's trying to smash it 190 ball speed. Well, it's cold, it's windy, you've got to drive it straight. If you miss it, too much rough, it's going to be a tough challenge for him to get back into it.
Steve Dalby, always a pleasure having you on location and on the show, so we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you. Maybe we may check you down tomorrow.
All right,
if you're available.
Good. Sounds good.
Howard up to Scottsdale.
Clear. You're the best.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Get into summer with iHeart80s. iHeart80s goes commercial free this weekend and every weekend. Open the app, search iHeart80s, and start listening now. Free never sounded so good.
CEOs You Should Know gives you an opportunity to learn from some of the top business executives across Arizona. Hey, it's Jody Ayler, and I'm excited to learn, so come join with me by searching CEOs You Should Know Phoenix on your free iHeartRadio app.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, Cam, mind sending me over our new Wi-Fi password?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, you can't be trusted.
What?
It's your phone. It's different than mine.
Cam. And I thought I was a judgy one.
No, it's just messages between different devices aren't encrypted.
Okay. Since when do you know about encryption?
I know what encryption is, and it's because I'm the last line of defense against any would-be Wi-Fi thieves.
Cam, come on.
Okay, fine. I'll send it somewhere more private.
Thank you.
Safely send messages between different devices on WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Curry teammates Brittany Griner and Sophie Cunningham will participate in the WNBA Skills Challenge tomorrow as part of this weekend's All-Star festivities at Footprint Center. Rookie running back Trey Benson got his 4-year deal from the Cardinals. He's the last of this year's draft class to sign. He was selected in round 3. The D-backs have their 2025 MLB schedule. They'll begin their season March 27 at home against the Cubs. Back to this season, the Snakes will begin the second half tomorrow, also against the Cubs. Starting pitcher announced the Summer League action. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword Shaq at foxsports910.com. That's Shaq at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for a hot day out there. Temperatures right around 113 degrees, mostly sunny skies. And then for tonight, very slight chance of seeing an isolated thunderstorm out there with an overnight low right around 92. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to experience the thrill of the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. It's free to play. Play for fun and no purchases necessary. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hope you're having a good Thursday, the 18th. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. No Manuch today on vacation today out here at Twin Peaks in Scottsdale. Be here for another 2 hours this hour and catch up with Mike Yam from the NFL Network, formerly the Pac-12 Network. Get his thoughts on the NFL getting underway. Training camp started yesterday with the Texans, and his thoughts on the Pac-12 now dissolved, at least the way we know it. And we can get his thoughts because he was one of the top guys. Him and Yogi Roth were the two guys that really kind of put that network on the map.
It's disappointing. I still have nightmares about it, not knowing, that it's gone, knowing now that it is gone. When you grow up with it, growing up in Seattle, a young kid, it was the Pac-8. Then it became the Pac-10 and then the Pac-12. And watching all of those players, great football and basketball players that toiled in the Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12, and now knowing that it's just going to be kind of like an asterisk in the history of college football from now on. That's hurtful. That really is.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way not being from the West Coast.
Right.
Being from the East Coast to Pac-12 or 10 or 8 to me was like the Mountain West.
Yeah.
That is now.
Yeah.
Because it was so far on the West Coast,
Sure.
3-hour time difference.
Yep.
You weren't, unless you're out and you're in a bar on a Friday or Saturday night, you may see it at 10:30, 11 o'clock getting underway, so it wasn't very relevant to me at all. So I feel bad for those that have, live and die the Pac-12, but I think where some of these teams have gone, with the exception of Stanford and Cal, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Big 10, Big 12.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. And I like the fact that you're going to see some real tailgating now. Real tailgating in football.
You're going to see some great matchups, and the best part is that you will see them relatively early in the season, and which just leads me to what we were discussing yesterday, and that was Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, talking about how, well, we really don't care that much about the 12-team playoff now because we play the best football, and all of our teams should just be 1 through 12. That's the way that they look at it.
He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say it, but that's the reference that all of those SEC honks make.
But don't you think they kind of have the right?
No, they don't. No, they have.
They've been pretty. They
have
top end
3 or 4, but
their top end is so good.
But their bottom end is not good.
But you could say that every conference. Vanderbilt,
their bottom end when they make a bowl game can be anyone from the Big 10 lower level of the Big 12. And Vanderbilt and Arkansas can go in and beat a Houston, a Cincinnati, or go in and beat Indiana or Purdue.
We went through the notes.
Yeah.
And the numbers yesterday.
Yep.
Where we showed how the SEC plays against the Power 5 schools over the last 5 years, and they completely dominated.
They did. But those are their top schools.
No,
which
I went
makes-
through
you
all of
went through
them.
all-
The only one that didn't have any
Mississippi
wins, I think, was Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
0-3, I believe, is what it was.
And Mississippi State, I don't think was great either. But look, I get it. It is a Southern thing. I can care less about the SEC. I watch them because of the style of football that they play and how good those teams are. So I'm compelled to watch them. But because I was a West Coast guy, and I'm still PO'd that Christian McCaffrey didn't win the Heisman Trophy at Stanford when he dominated the game.
Because the Pac-12 was in the West Coast.
There you go. That's the only reason.
But the SEC, it clearly is the best
Yeah,
conference.
well, I'm not saying it's not.
Oh, okay. You're kind of alluding to that.
No, I'm just saying that
I mean, they've been so impressive, but I would agree they are top heavy.
Top heavy.
Okay. But that's it.
Yeah.
And national championships.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Georgia, Alabama have been the two top teams across the board for the last 5-10 years.
Well, Clemson had that run in there, and they eliminated those teams. And you have to remember, Ohio State had runs where they eliminated those teams as well. Look, it's
all right. Let me real quick. The numbers I was showing.
Okay.
Of the only two teams in the SEC had a losing record. Had a losing record against Power 5 schools over the last 5 years.
Vanderbilt
0-3.
Yeah.
And South Carolina 2-6.
Oh, South Carolina.
Because
yes.
they were probably lost to Clemson.
Yes. Yeah.
But everybody else had winning records.
records.
Mississippi State, Mississippi, LSU, Kentucky 7-2.
Yep.
Georgia's never lost.
Well, I could see that.
I'm sorry. I one more. Auburn 2-4.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to argue.
I'm
SEC is clearly the best. Now, do they pound their chests a little too much?
Yes.
Paul Feynman needs to go away. Yes.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean they've showed it. Not to mention, the numbers tell you they're getting 100 to 110,000 people at their stadiums. People are literally, watching them every single weekend. I mean, you're not going to turn off an Alabama-Auburn game or Alabama-Mississippi game. You're going to watch SEC
I'm going to watch
football.
that game. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Because those teams are relevant and they're really good. So, yeah, I'm going to watch those teams play. I probably wouldn't watch Alabama-Auburn. I don't think Auburn's going to be that relevant.
But you have to watch that game because it's the Iron Bowl.
I have watched it in the past.
Auburn is played them just a week year ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, the game that I remember is when Auburn had the long field goal return for a touchdown and won the game.
That's just a couple years ago, though.
That's how I relate Auburn and Alabama.
You're not
Last year, Alabama beat them 27-24.
Yeah,
4th and 31, and they got it.
Yeah,
and the goal. I highly disagree, Jimmy. It's a great rivalry. It doesn't matter if Auburn's 1-11 or 11-1, and Alabama's the same way. You go to Jordan-Hare, it's a cursed environment. Everyone that goes to Jordan-Hare for Alabama, it's a close game.
All right.
The last 2 times Alabama went there, they came out with a Hail Mary miracle.
Yes, they did.
2 years before that, they had the touchdown as well. So I think for Iron Bowl, it's a must-watch.
I don't
game.
think. I think it's a watch game. I don't think it's a big relevant game for half of the country. For half of the country on the west side of the Mississippi. They are not caught up in that game.
If you're a football fan, you're watching
caught
that.
up in that game.
You're a football
Well,
fan.
we're all football fans.
I understand
so
that.
us.
So we're on this side of the Mississippi.
But we're watching that game because we are hardcore football fans.
Okay, but it's just football fans in general.
You go ask some Arizona State fan if they're going to
really
pay attention.
All right, we want to get into rivalries. Arizona State, Arizona. I know people are going to like this. It is a very weak rivalry.
I agree with that.
And I guess if I went to school at either one, maybe I would feel differently. But I think it's clearly Ohio State, Michigan, number 1, Oklahoma, Texas, number 2. Then I would go Alabama and Auburn. I mean, what else? They're the top three. I mean, some people might throw in USC, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I would think of that.
Arizona State's not on that list.
No,
some people may throw.
No.
I mean, you think about the Pac-12 rivalries. Washington State,
Apple Cup.
Give me a break. Oregon State, give me a break.
Civil War.
They're not any
They
good.
used to be, though.
Cal, Stanford.
No,
they were good in your little bubble.
They were.
Because you're a Pac-8 guy.
And the band is on the field. Look, here's the thing. USC and UCLA used to be a spectacular rivalry, and that's fallen by the wayside as well. So it's disappointing.
But you have to throw Auburn, Alabama right up there. I mean, I would almost – I'm biased. My family went to – my sister husband went to Clemson. So I'm always back there during Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And, it's we watched the Ohio State-Michigan game. Then right after that night, it's –
Auburn, Alabama.
No. Well, that's in between.
Yes, or
then
Clemson, South Carolina.
Yeah. And that is a brutal rivalry in that part of the country.
One of my favorite college running backs, George Rogers, out of South Carolina, won the Heisman Trophy.
1 minute.
Just so it's amazing the knowledge you give us. I mean, just
Don Clendenin was my neighbor for a while.
I mean, it's just I don't know. We can't go through a show without learning something.
We chat later after the game is over. Wilt comes over and says, "Hey, why don't you guys come up to the house?"
It's been a hell of a week without Manuch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Rock. How's it been the last 2 days?
Well,
how dumb am I?
We found out that Jimmy B went to Wilt Chamberlain's house.
We chat later after the game is over. Wilt comes over and says, "Hey, why don't you guys come up to the house?"
And he used his restroom. Not his bathroom, his restroom.
How dumb am I?
We got a leaderboard update. We got a little
I hope
throwback
you choke on
Thursday and much more as we continue from Twin Peaks, Scottsdale.
In a recent survey, when people were asked who they thought the best personal injury attorney in Arizona was, more than 9 out of 10 people chose Lerner & Rowe. In fact, Lerner & Rowe has been voted best personal injury attorney in Arizona for the past 9 years. Our experience, reputation, and proven results have made it possible for us to recover billions of dollars for over 150,000 injured people. At Lerner & Rowe, getting you the best result is what we do best. Hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck and need a check? Call us today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part, we don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do, but not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Her daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
but it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Time for your latest Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B leaderboard update.
This is Brown's approach shot and then putt to take the lead.
Okay.
You're working hard. Well, you know.
Vans Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Vans Golf Shops. Unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
Gets this on the green. He'll have a putt to take the lead on his own. Oh, what a shot that is. Will it grab? It does. A phenomenal shot.
And that was Daniel
take the lead on his own. He pours it in the middle. That was never missing. What a round from Brown.
Daniel Brown leads the British Open 6 under, followed by Shane Lowry, Justin Thomas, and others. Justin Rose at 2 under. Seb Straka 1 under, Brooks Koepka 1 under, and Scotty Scheffler 1 under. Jimmy B, when you look at the leaderboard,
yes,
what's your biggest takeaway?
I had no idea who Daniel Brown was.
Same here. I would agree. I've been looking it up. Switzerland?
I had no.
Where's
He's
he from?
England.
He's from England. 29 years old.
Yeah,
turned pro in 2017.
Yeah, have no idea. I mean,
That's
look,
the problem with some of these tournaments where you just don't know
those
players.
guys,
Like, you know, we discussed in the first hour about how the PGA just needs to do a better job of marketing himself as well as you know, overseas. I mean, it'd be nice to see.
Why don't they hire you, Rock? They should hire you.
No
you are
I'm good.
You are a wizard when it comes to marketing.
And then what am I going to do between 1 and 4?
I was gonna note too. Daniel Brown's a part of the DP World Tour, so that's probably why we haven't heard of him. You look at the last 7 tournaments that he's played in.
Yeah,
he's missed the cut in all 7 of his last tournaments.
Wow,
how did he get in the British Open?
He's from England. I don't know. I mean, it's when you have a guy like that who is so unknown. This is totally different than John Daly at the PGA. When you go all those years back, 20 plus years back, John Daly had a stellar career at the University of Arkansas playing golf and had participated on the pro tour. And then when he got the call that there was a spot open, he drove all night. So there was a story about John Daly that was relevant when he started to play so well at the PGA. This guy, I had no idea who he was. I had to look him up too. And you said you had no idea either.
No, I literally was like, okay, you know, but now I do.
Yeah.
So, which is, that's good too. So today we lost a guy that I was a big fan of. He had been coming on our show, Manuch and I, he came on probably 5-6 straight years. A guy that I kind of grew up, knew a lot about. That is the Magic co-founder, Orlando Magic co-founder, Pat Williams. He was a key player in bringing the Magic to Orlando. He won a title with the 76ers when he was a general manager there in '83. He had stops in Atlanta, in Chicago. A guy that was in the NBA for 51 years. He wrote over 100 books. This guy was a stallion. 19 kids. 19 children.
He's been in that weight room, that's for sure.
Wow. He passed away at the age of 84.
He was
some
doing a sports talk radio show. That's what he was been doing. He's been doing a sports talk radio show.
You just open up the mic and let him talk the stories he has.
Yes.
Being the first GM of the Orlando Magic. He did that from 89 to 96 after serving as GM of the 76ers. I mean, he turned what they say, a no-horse sports town into a professional sports city. And I don't know if we're going to have Rick Horrow on the program tomorrow, but Rick is from that area. Rick was very tight with Pat Williams. I'll be anxious to hear from the sports professor who lives there in Miami. He was instrumental, that being Rick Horrow with Pat in helping get the Magic to Orlando. And I know Pat, just reading one of Rick Horrow's books, Pat had a lot to do with the Florida Marlins getting there as well. So Pat Williams passed away at the age of 84. He was honored by the Basketball Hall of Fame back in 2012.
He was a guy who could see things 10 years in the future.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you referenced the title with the Philadelphia 76ers, because was he instrumental then and bringing Moses Malone to
From
the
Houston.
Philadelphia 76ers from Houston when Moses said full.
Yep.
That's what he said.
You know, I'm going through a move, and all my memorabilia has been sitting in my parents' house since 92, 93, and it's now being opened up.
Oh, wow.
And I found multiple Philadelphia Inquirers, Philadelphia Bulletins. That was a newspaper back there, and pictures of that team and a poster of that team that was framed that I put up in my new garage. But just to kind of go back and, reminisce about your days as, a kid growing up.
Sure, absolutely.
Delivering the newspaper and
Yep.
your teams were winning. I
Yep.
mean, it's such a cool thing to be from a place where they won. The Flyers were good. The Eagles were good. Phillies were good in the 80s.
Yes, they
I
were.
mean, it was just a fun sports town to be from. I hope we get to that here for the kids that grow up here. I can't tell you, you go to the mall or you go anywhere around town, you don't see Suns jerseys very often. You see Laker jerseys. You see other teams' jerseys, because what I think the NBA and sports in general have done a good job of marketing their sports and marketing their individuals, that you see more LeBron jerseys,
Right.
Steph Curry jerseys,
Yes.
and things like that. Whereas if you grow up in Philly, New York, or Chicago, you're wearing that team.
Correct.
You would never be a Philly guy wearing a LeBron James shirt,
Right.
or jersey.
No,
you just would never do that.
I understand that perfectly, but you've lived here longer than I have.
30.
And you know that this is a very transient area, and a lot of people have moved here from the East. People have moved here from California, and I think that has a big influence that they still follow their team. You go to a Cardinal NFL game, and Green Bay's in town or Chicago Bears are in town. It's 60%
Yeah.
Green Bay, Chicago for the fan base.
I'm anxious to see how well Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado travel for the Big 12
Okay,
this year.
that's fair. Me too.
Sports Illustrated tickets and the Big 12 Conference today announced it's called the Big 12 Ticket Central, powered by Sports Illustrated Tickets. It's a one-stop platform to buy Big 12 men's and women's athletic tickets, which I think is great. That makes a lot of sense. It just came out. It's a new platform. It'll be for the upcoming season. So it's just Google Sports Illustrated tickets and you'll be able to see it. But I think that's great, because I know there are a lot of stadiums I want to go to. And if Arizona State's playing, or Arizona, it's a good road trip.
Sure it is, yeah. I mean, you get the Battle of the Wildcats early. It's in Manhattan, Kansas. Arizona and Kansas State.
That's a non-conference game because it was already scheduled that way.
Correct, yeah. That's so funny that's the way it's set up.
But,
interesting.
But if you're looking at Arizona State and you want to, want to go and look at, going to some games, you got to look at that schedule and say, all right, well, where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Texas Tech? I don't know.
Want to go to Colorado?
Well, you could always you could have gone to Colorado before. I'm talking about more of the Big 12, road games, because their road games, Oklahoma State, Cincinnati,
go to Orlando,
Kansas State. I mean,
Florida.
there's nothing.
How about West Virginia?
I'm talking about this year, Jimmy. You don't have the schedule in front of you. They don't play them this year.
No, I know. I'm just talking about teams that are in the Big 12. That's all. If you're an Arizona State fan, do you have interest in going to West Virginia?
No.
Do you have interest in going to Orlando?
No.
Do you have interest in going to Cincinnati?
Nope.
How about Ames, Iowa?
Been there, but yes, that would be one. What they do at halftime when all the players, with the Children's Hospital, that's
No,
unbelievable.
that's Iowa.
Oh, what did you
That's
say?
Ames, Iowa. Is
Iowa State. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I've been to Iowa State too.
Yes, yeah.
Now Iowa State, very weak. Not a good tailgate.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I mean, I'm just you're trying to find in Houston. You're going to go to Houston?
Nope. I that's what I said when they were talking about Big 12 for football. I don't want to go to Kansas. I don't want to go to Cincinnati. I definitely don't want to go to Kansas State, Orlando, Oklahoma State, Houston, West Virginia, Baylor, BYU, TCU, maybe because it's Dallas, Texas Tech, Iowa State. It is not a good conference for tailgating.
So
it's awful.
What is your?
I mean, it is probably one of the worst.
Oh, okay, so
of the top 4.
I can tell you
it is the worst, hands down.
Well, I can tell you this.
What's one good one?
Because
West Virginia is good. It is fun.
It's great. Iowa State has a great tailgate. I can tell you that
Kansas, all right.
Kansas State has a impressive tailgate. Kansas, now that they're good, is once again a fun place to go.
Because you can make a case that Arizona State tailgates aren't any good.
Well,
and I think it's because of our climate.
That
it's too damn hot.
It is too hot.
I mean, it's too hot, and there was some games last year. I remember there was a 5:00 start against Washington State, it was unbearable. You don't leave at halftime; it's too hot. Still,
yeah, it was. Now I'll say this about Arizona State because it's not set up for a huge tailgating atmosphere.
No, it's not.
There's no place to park. You don't have those kind of big parking lots.
And they used to let you leave at halftime, run over to Bandersnatch, the bar, get a couple minis and go back in. They don't let you do that.
No.
Your re-entry is key.
Yeah.
But the problem is, all students left, went across the street to the bar, and then came back in. That's when it was fun. Man,
things have changed, Rock.
I know. Hey, here I am at 56 years old, still wanting to go to
God,
Bandersnatch.
you're such an old guy.
Yeah, but Bandersnatch, you don't even know what that was.
No.
It was. Anyone listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. It was by far it was a staple that you'd want to go to.
One of the greatest bars that you want to go to.
Yeah, just game day.
Yeah,
other game day. It's nothing, but it's a place you'd want to go before or after.
Okay.
You see everybody you want to see is there. I mean, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Hey, Mike Yam's going to join us next from the NFL Network. He's formerly of the Pac-12. Get his thoughts on that as well. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Scottsdale here on Fox.
Clear. What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Backs have their 2025 MLB schedule. They'll begin their season March 27th at home versus the Cubs. Back to this season, the Snakes begin the second half also against the Cubs. Starting pitchers have not been announced. The Suns beat the Thunder yesterday for their first win of Summer League. They're back at it tomorrow versus the Bucks. The Mercury opened their state-of-the-art $100 million, 58,000 square foot practice facility today. And the Cardinals have signed running back Trey Benson, their third-round draft pick, to a standard 4-year rookie deal. All 12 of their 2024 draft classes now under contract. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Looking for the perfect summer escape? You'll find it at Talking Stick Resort during Summer Playcation. From a refreshing $139 a night with exclusive spa and cabana specials, $25 in free slot play, and no resort fee for Arizona residents. Plus, amazing deals at Talking Stick Entertainment District, including Talking Stick Golf Club, Octane Raceway, Odyssey Aquarium, and so much more. Summer Playcation through September 30th at Talking Stick Resort.
Need an electric charger installed or a TV mounted? Contact AC Electrical Family at aceelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392. That's aceelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Power up with the best.
When you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck, Learn Rail will take you from wreck to check, from crash to cash, from accident to whatever rhymes with accident. And we'll help you with all the details in between. We'll help you get to the right doctors, even if you don't have health insurance. We'll help you get your car fixed. We'll help you get your doctor bills paid. And then we'll fight with the insurance companies to get you every dollar you deserve. Hurt in a wreck? Call Lerner and Rowe. We're with you every step of the way.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar on the southeast corner of Cave Creek and the 101. Happy hour 7 days a week, 4 to 7, with $5.50 house wines and well drinks, $4.75 drafts, plus tons of food specials. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Tune in Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for Backspin, the golf show presented by Pigs. Play your best. The Backspin boys take you inside the ropes every week with guests and great debates on the game. Backspin, the golf show on Fox Sports 910.
Cam found out that group chats between different phones aren't private or encrypted. Thank you. We only text in code.
Yes, which I created. I created a code.
Yes.
He's good.
Which can be a little annoying.
Wait, was that your attempt at the code?
You already forgot the code, didn't you?
I should have written it down.
The place to safely send messages between different devices. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code Sports, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
You're hot.
Joining us now on the right to the guest line, Mike Yam of the NFL Network, studio host and the author of the children's book Fried Rice and Marinara. Of course, big part of the success of Pac-12 Network, as many of you that listen to us daily know that Mike comes on our show quite a bit along with Yogi Roth, and he's got a new podcast too. And Mike, I noticed, I saw that you and Ashley, you guys are all reminiscent about the Pac-12. It's we were just talking about the Pac-12. It just kind of feels I don't know, we really feel bad, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of, it's unfortunate, but the world of college football continues to change, or college athletics.
It totally does, and the evolution is not done. I don't think it's done by a long shot. I feel and confident, guys, that in a few years we'll be having this conversation. You guys will still be doing this radio show.
Yeah.
I'll still be fortunate enough to be invited on as a guest, and we'll be talking about another round of realignment. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm still convinced that the Pac-12 as we knew it will be back in some shape or form. I still think you're going to be talking about more consolidation, regional travel that just makes sense, and something that looks more closely aligned with the NFL model.
Do you see in the next year just trying to get as many schools over, like from the Mountain West or wherever, just to kind of just fill it? Or are they going to go solo?
It's a great question. I've seen some comments from Teresa Gould, who's now the new commissioner of the conference, speaking on that subject. And I think most of us, the low-hanging fruit is, just take some of these Mountain West schools and make it work. I don't know if I'm sold on that. And maybe there's something to it. I think it goes both ways. Like, what's the value for Oregon State and Washington State that they get from having some Mountain West schools come to the conference? And I think, if it's sort of like this reversed merger where those two schools go in, is there a dramatic bump in the television revenue that comes with those two universities? And I don't know if the answer is a dramatic increase, which then begs the question, like, why are we doing this? I do think it's tough. I don't think that there's, just based off of the media days and some of the comments that we've had over the last couple of weeks or so, doesn't look like there is a strong push from the SEC to expand. And we're talking about schools like Florida State and Clemson, for example. I don't think that the Big Ten sees, and more specifically Fox, sees a ton of value of having Oregon State and Washington State into that conference. So I just think there's some limited options right now, and hopefully Teresa and her staff are going to be able to come up with a solution that really works and has real long-term viability, guys, because this league can still be great. I just think it's going to take another round of realignment down the road to make it happen.
I'm with you on that, Mike, 100%. Mike Yam's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Let me just follow up when you talked a little bit about about Clemson and Florida State and the other conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC, not really opening the door for either one of those schools yet. How stuck are they? You understand television extremely well. They have that contract with ESPN, and it runs until, like, I don't know, another 8 or 9 years. Are they just caught between a rock and a hard place, or do you see them doing something different in another 2 years?
So I do think that there's some options. I actually read it, and I wish I could take credit for it. And guys, the reality is, when it comes to what's happening in soccer in Europe, I think I understand the premise. I'm not sitting there watching a lot of these matches that are taking place, but this whole I watched Ted Lasso, so I do understand teams move up and down in terms of the competition, right?
Yep.
I saw someone, and I wish I could credit it appropriately because I wasn't creative enough to think of it. I think it might have been CBSSports.com. Someone wrote an article about sort of relegation, right? Like where the Pac-12 would keep the two schools that are in place, and have some teams kind of level up in competition. And as they finished better or worse, maybe knock the bottom schools out and insert, some new schools in. I do think it's interesting. I don't know if it's really viable, but to your point, understanding some of these television contracts, it almost feels like there has to be expansion in some form. I just don't here's where it's at. And you actually, when you introduced me, you mentioned the podcast that we did with Yogi. When Yogi was planning on creating his own podcast and doing these things, we went out to lunch and he was kind of filling me in on his ideas. I think the reality is, and anyone that's on the West Coast and your fan base that listens to your show, they know this. Schools on the West Coast deserve love, deserve attention, and there's a fan base that really does care. The reality is that there's this bias that comes from the East Coast, and I can say it. I grew up in New Jersey. I went to school in New York City. I worked at ESPN. And the problem is, how do you drive engagement at a high level so that people on the East Coast have to pay attention? And here's what I love, guys. The fact that Pac-12 was able to get distribution. One of the biggest issues we had at Pac-12 Network was distribution.
Yes.
Well, guess where I'm going to be able to watch Oregon State and Washington State this season? On the CW. Last time I checked, that's in 100% of homes. And to me, that's a really, really important first step for this conference to have real long-term viability.
One more, and then we'll move on. Do you feel that game times are important? Do you foresee more of the, late afternoons here on the Pacific Coast time zone?
So the coaches will tell you one thing, and there is real value. And I get it. The coaches want to play early. Waiting around on a Saturday is not fun for anyone, but there is real value, guys, from a television perspective, having those West Coast windows. People used to fight Larry Scott on this a lot, and they would say, well, travel's really tough. Well, last time I checked, we got student athletes at Cal and Stanford going from the West Coast to the East Coast of the country. We got UCLA and USC students going from the West Coast to the East Coast. Suddenly, travel is less of an issue when the finances work in your favor. The reality is your numbers will be bigger from a television perspective if you are on later at night on the West Coast, because you are the only game in town.
Right.
The problem is it's not always the East Coast eyeballs that will be on those games on the West Coast. And I think that's where it becomes a dicey situation and a problem that's hard to solve. But the TV networks love those windows.
All right. Let's get right to it. Back Together weekend is the 27th to the 28th. That's what everybody's waiting. That's what everybody's waiting for, Mike. NFL Network, 24/7 coverage. Do you feel it? I mean, is it like the day before first day of school? I mean, what is going on now? I mean, I know there's still a lot of coverage. Texans reported yesterday.
Yeah.
The Bears are next, and then of course the Hall of Fame game. But is it a big week of preparation for something like that?
Yeah. Do I feel it? I wish I could, if this was a video, I turned my camera on. You could see my computer screen and all the football tabs that are open on my browser right now. So yes, absolutely feeling it. Get ready for it. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for this to finally get here. I mean, basically right off the draft, I was like, can we get the season started up again? So I'm excited. In fact, actually on that Saturday, I'm not flying anywhere. I'm going to be local and I'll be with the Rams on that day, and then I'll hit the road. I was just telling someone my schedule, and I paused for a second. I was like, damn, I got some good teams. I got the Ravens and the Falcons and then the Bills.
Yeah,
I'm thinking to myself, like, I got treated with a good set of squads here. I was just happy to get the assignments. I'm like, you can send me anywhere. It doesn't matter. Let's go. But there's, some great storylines this upcoming season. And, the one thing that we've seen in the NFL every single year is, parity in this league. And some teams that maybe didn't finish so strongly last year, new sense of optimism. Maybe they help themselves out in the draft, but have an opportunity to start fresh again.
I know it's early, Mike, but you're around the water cooler, and I know you guys just talk football 24/7. Just when the team comes up, Arizona Cardinals, what is some of the responses? What are people discussing about this team?
I think there are people that are going to look at the Arizona squad from an outsider's perspective. You guys are micro because you're in the weeds, looking at every transaction, every signing, being at practice, understanding the inner workings of it. I think sometimes when it's a micro thing, it's harder to see sometimes the bigger picture. And I think the big picture is this organization looks like they're better right now on paper than they were a year ago. And you got to feel good about that. The issue is the NFC West, because I feel good about the Rams. I feel good about the San Francisco 49ers. I feel good about Seattle. And I think competing in that division is really difficult. I really hope Kyler is the Kyler Murray that we saw a couple of years ago, where he's electric on the field, dynamic as a playmaker, and can be a real catalyst to this team. But I thought they did well in the draft. It was almost hard not to. I felt like, every few picks, it was Arizona back on the clock. They had a ton. And I do think they were able to help themselves out and fill some holes with some younger players. And if you hit on a couple of those guys, and I think they're going to, I don't know if it's going to help win-loss, but I do feel good about the product being better this year.
Mike Yam is our guest, NFL Network. He's excited because the camps are indeed opening up. Let me follow up then with what you just talked about. And I want to keep the Cardinals in the mix here, but the NFC West. Everybody's picking the 49ers, and rightfully so. But Brandon Ayuk now has become an issue. Look, does him asking for a trade fracture the locker room at all, or does everybody understand it's a business and he's got to do what he has to do?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. And I think every one of those players inside that locker room knows that they are a better team with Brandon Ayuk on their roster. And I think every one of those players wants to see one of their teammates go and get paid. I think it's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point. San Francisco, though, has done a good job over the last few years, and I'll give them credit for this, paying their own players, drafting guys, signing players, and making sure that they develop with in-house and then rewarding those guys. Nick Bosa coming off the Defensive Player of the Year, there were some issues in terms of contracts. They got that done really late. They do get the deals done. They typically don't get done right now, and they do take it down to the wire a little bit. But, to your point, I still think San Francisco has got to be the team to beat. I think, in the NFC, I don't know if you said to me, like, who's the other team that you would pick for a Super Bowl? To be honest with you, San Francisco certainly comes to mind. I think the Rams have an opportunity to be pretty good.
3.
I'm higher on Green Bay than most are. I really like the Lions. So, maybe Philly with Saquon Barkley now is able to figure it out. But I think there's questions with all the teams. I think there's the fewest amount of questions around the Niners.
Brandon Ayuk. How about the San Diego or the LA Chargers?
We heard that rumor.
If I'm the Chargers and I'm Justin Herbert and I look around my wide receiver room, that looks a whole lot different than it did a year ago. Hell yeah, get me Brandon Ayuk on that roster. I'm sure Justin's thinking that. I'll take any of these wide receivers and these weapons as we can get. Obviously Keenan Allen losing him and Mike Williams, that is a very different wide receiver room than it was a season ago, and the last few years, really.
Mike, the rumor circulating was Joey Bosa to the Niners so the brothers could play together, and Brandon Ayuk then the Chargers.
2.
Can you imagine, by the way, if that was the case?
Yeah.
Think about this, guys. A year ago, San Francisco, for all the talk, and I think for as good as this team has been the last few years, and we always focus in on the offensive guys, the Kittles of the world and the Debos and Brock, and they all deserve credit. I've always felt like defensively, that was that team's identity of what they were able to do. And the fact that a year ago they struggled, guys, getting after the quarterback for a good stretch of that season. They tried to address it on that defensive line. Look, it'd be fun for every single fan. Can you imagine those guys wreaking havoc? Oh my God, that would be kind of awesome. And by the way, that's what you need to win. Like defensively, you can attack the quarterback, man. Like that's a game changer. And I think some teams like the Niners, who are so close to winning a Super Bowl, have to look around and assess what's the missing piece to get us over the top. Who are the teams that are going to be in the mix at the end, playing in an NFC Championship game, playing in the Super Bowl? What do they do well, and how do we beat them? And last time I checked, getting after the quarterback is usually number one on most teams' lists.
Mike, thank you as always. I know you're getting ready to get in the weeds and get after it, so thanks for making some time this week. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Anytime.
That's NFL Network anchor, studio host Mike Yam getting ready as they are going to be turning it up big time on the NFL Network, as we're all excited to see. You can follow him on Twitter at Mike_Yam. So appreciate him making some time. Today's brought to you by the CAZ Sports Book there in Casino, Arizona. Check it out. 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 6 screens displaying all the betting odds. So coming up, we need a contestant to challenge one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls here from the Scottsdale location. Nothing really going on today, so we got some picks for tomorrow. We're going to do D-backs at Cubs, Summer League Bucks and Suns, and then Arena Bowl 33, Albany versus Billings. Those will be your 3 picks. We'll take it off the air. Take the 5th caller at 602-260-9191. We'll have Jax go out there, and he's enjoying today. He's been getting ready for this because it's bikini costume day here.
He has been
the last day, so we're going to set him up.
He's been circling like a vulture.
It's our weekly Twin Peaks picks next here on Fox Sports 910.
Where does your standard amount of bucks not cut it? Time to line your pockets with bonus bucks.
Fat stacks of cash.
Be listening every weekday for your chance to win $1,000.
Oh my God!
Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey Arizona, it's your local accident attorney Kevin Rowe. Results matter, so we want to help you win $1,000. Powered by Lerner and Rowe Accident Attorneys, where we treat you like family. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today at 977-1900.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And now, the Roc and Manuch Amber by Huss Brewing. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber drafts. Arena Sports Grill.
In the market for an electric charger for your place? Looking to upgrade your under cabinet or closet lighting? Look no further than Arizona Electrical Family. From service calls to new home installations, home remodels, and even TV mounting, we've got you covered. Visit azelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392 to learn more about our comprehensive services and to schedule your free quote today. Power up with the best. Visit azelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AZ Electrical Family. Quality service you can trust.
Attention drivers. Drive smart, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, reminds you to follow the move over law. When you see emergency vehicles, move over and slow down. Keep our roads safe for all. Brought to you by All City Towing.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
People scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But for us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the influencers, audiences, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught A whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Time for Peaks Picks, your weekly chance to win a $50 Twin Peaks man card by outscoring one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks, the best views in the game. Open in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, and Deer Valley.
That's right, Twin Peaks Picks. I need to run with this. My computer's just locked, so I can't do anything. And Jimmy, if you would like to participate, you're more than welcome.
All right, we got Cassidy here, and Shu has Hector from Glendale on the line with his picks. So
All right, I'm back. Good.
We're going to start out Diamondbacks, Cubs, and Cassidy told me she's going with the D-backs because she is from Arizona. Shu?
Hector also taking the Diamondbacks.
11:20 start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love
I'm
those.
looking forward to it.
Love those.
I mean, there was nothing better growing up on the East Coast. And Shu, you would agree, watching Cubs baseball at 2:00
in the afternoon.
It was the best.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
All right, Summer League, Bucks and Suns. That's also an early game tomorrow, 1:00 on NBA TV. Cassidy, who'd you go with?
She's sticking with the Suns.
Yes.
Hector took the Bucks.
Okay. Then we have Arena Bowl 33. Albany against Billings. The game will feature the Albany Firebirds defending its city title against the Billings Outlaws. It is Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon on the CBS Sports Network. What do we got there?
Yeah, she had no idea who and what this sport was. Had to talk to her about it a little bit.
Arena Bowl. It's not the Arizona Rattlers because that's the indoor.
That's
league.
correct. Yes.
But she went with the Outlaws.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a tough time with this too. I didn't even know this was going on tomorrow when I talked with Hector, but he is taking Billings.
Okay.
2:30 start, so that's a 5:30 start on the East Coast. That's rough. I mean, who can make it to a game? I mean, they're only probably drawing a couple thousand people anyway.
Where is the game?
Actually,
Do we know where it is?
I believe the game is in Albany, the Albany Firebirds. It has been for a long time a very solid Arena League football city. They have done extremely well in Albany. Yeah.
They're actually playing the game in New Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Wow.
They are, really?
That's what the internet tells me.
It's the Arena Bowl 33.
Okay. All right. I would have thought they would have had it at one of the teams.
That wasn't the team that Brown played for, was it?
It was the team that he had.
He was an owner, and
Yes,
then he lost his ass.
Yeah,
and
he did. Yeah.
he was going to play, and then Antonio Brown.
Yeah. That was it. And of course,
That's the only reason why I know Albany.
That went right in the dumpster. And here's something. Long ago, Freddie Coleman, who you know who Freddie is now, longtime talk show host on
ESPN. Okay.
Yeah. He and I did the Albany games together.
Of course.
When he worked in Albany.
Of course, there's a story. Of course, there is with the Arena Bowl. Of course.
I mean, it doesn't go a day that you don't drop this knowledge.
No, there's not a sport. There's not a person. There's not a thing we talk about that Jimmy B can't turn it into a story about something he's done in his 87-year career.
I've been on this planet a long time.
Yes, you have, and we're glad. We're hoping you're going to be with us for a lot longer. Because I mean, these are just gems. I mean, I still can't get over. And if you're just joining us and you missed the show 2 days ago, where were you? Jimmy B, this was the best of the best. And the way I'll set it up, Shu, this Wilt Chamberlain, Wes Unseld. So you used to call games with Wes Unseld.
I did. Yeah.
So he's trying to tell us that he used Wilt Chamberlain's bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was Wilt Chamberlain, he was playing at this time?
No, he was retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
this was in the early 80s, mid-80s.
So just fire it off, Shu.
We chat later after the game is over. Wilt comes over and says, "Wait, why don't you guys come up to the house?"
I'll tell you right now, it's going to go deep in the tournament. That clip right there is going to go deep in the tournament when we run it because it is quintessential Jimmy B.
So when can we hire the lie detector tests for Jimmy B and Manuch?
I don't know if it's a lie detector. It's an embellishment detector.
No, Don Clendenin was my neighbor for a while.
We need to legit get a lie detector test. Someone bring him here,
or better
get
yet,
strapped up.
We need to. Okay, I don't know if I think you can get it. I think you can get through a lie detector. It's a fact checker we need because I would rather he could say he's lying, and that's fine. But if we can have facts that we find on the internet that wasn't the case, then I'm all in. But if we need to start with a lie detector, I'm in. I mean, a lot of talk show hosts, they tell stories. I get it's story time.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we probably tell more stories than anybody.
Especially at this time of the year.
Especially you and Manuch. But, geez, it gets to the point sometimes. Wow, where'd you get that story? You had to pull that out of,
Michael J. Just because I was in Albany and I know how they draw for that team.
A minute.
That's all. I mean, that when you say something, it jogs my memory about a story or something that happened. So that's
all right.
That's the only thing.
Let me throw. I'm going to just throw out something to you.
Okay.
And then you give me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
That has to do work related.
Okay.
Pete Rose.
Pete and I worked together
Of course.
in Las Vegas on the Sports Fan Radio Network.
I thought he was with
30.
That big pitcher. It was Pete and relief pitcher.
He might have done that, but he was on the Sports Fan Radio Network.
20.
I'll tell you who can confirm it. Howard Balzer, because Howard was there as well.
All right, then we're going to talk to Howard coming up at 30.
Okay.
Finally, we got a fact checker.
There you go.
More Roc and Manuch. Jimmy B.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
It's better. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Cardinals signed running back Trey Benson, their third-round draft pick, to a standard 4-year rookie deal. All dozen of their 2024 draft classes now under contract. The Mercury opened their state-of-the-art $100 million, 58,000-square-foot practice facility today. The D-backs have their 2025 MLB schedule. They open March 27th at home against the Cubs. Back to this season, the Snakes begin the second half tomorrow, also against the Cubs. No starting pitchers have been announced yet. And the Suns beat the Thunder yesterday for their first win of Summer League. They're back at it tomorrow against the Bucks. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword GRAND at foxsports910.com. That's GRAND at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center for all your AC plumbing and Parker.
Tonight, very slight chance of a thunderstorm or two, overnight low right around 92, and then a hot day on your Friday. Temperatures right around 115 degrees. Keep in mind, we'll be under an excessive heat warning through Saturday. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty.
This report is sponsored by Staples Store. Books are just 45 cents each at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. Ends 9/14. Prices valid in select stores. Limit 30. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by Honor Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox 910.
Good Thursday to you. Hour number 3, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale. Manuch on vacation, one more hour. Howard Balzer will join us here in a little bit. As we'll talk some Cardinals, as today they signed Trey Benson, the third-round pick that was 66 overall from Florida State, the running back, 4-year deal. And the Cards now have all 12 of their members of their 2024 class under contract. So good to see that they got their guy. I think he's going to be a refreshing addition to this team if they run the ball like they say they're going to do. And I think him and James Conner could be a nice 1-2 punch. Both could catch out of the backfield.
Yep.
And could be the makings of something good.
I hope that that's the case. I hope you're correct with that assessment. I also hope that James Conner does not get dinged up and so he misses 4 or 5 games. I hope he stays relatively healthy, because if indeed that is the case, and they're going to have Kyler Murray up under center like most of the reports have told us, that they will indeed use those 2 running backs, and they should do very well, not only trying to get points on the board, but also running time off the clock, Rock. So if you're playing a high-powered team that has a high-powered offense, but if you can play a ball control game and eat clock time, that limits the offensive options that the opposition would get. I'm hoping that that's the way it plays out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be critical for this team. I also
agree.
think we have to, and we'll talk to Howard about it. I am a little concerned just the more that people are talking about the Cardinals getting ready for training camp next week, where they are soft in areas, that being the secondary. And I think that is going to be something they're going to have to, I don't know, maybe there'll be some guys off the wire after camp, but that's a tough position to fill, those corners or safeties, everybody you need, defensive backs, because they're throwing more now.
They are. And if anybody's any good, they're under contract. I mean, they're playing for somebody else. So that's a extremely difficult position, as everybody knows. You have to have a very short memory because you can't just sit and go, oh, man, this guy just caught a 21-yard pass on me, and then feel bad about it for the next 2 plays, because the next play he's going to come and beat you on a 35-yard touchdown play because you're still thinking about that last play. Cornerbacks cannot do that. It's just got to play each down and give it your best shot on each down.
There is a move in the NBA today as ESPN is reporting that Russell Westbrook will join the Nuggets after a Clippers Jazz move, as it is a sign and trade deal that involves Westbrook, who is expected to clear waivers and go to the Nuggets. And then the Clippers, part of the deal, will receive Chris Dunn from the Jazz for Westbrook, a second-round draft pick and some cash. So Westbrook, coming off a career low 11 points for the Clippers last year, expected to clear waivers, and then will join the Nuggets.
That's perfect.
It's a shame that the Suns just don't have any cash laying around.
They can't do anything
to make it work for them.
They can't do anything. I know. I've always liked Westbrook. I've liked his game. Look, did he go through a stretch when he got to the Lakers where he couldn't throw it in the ocean if he was in the boat? Yes, he did. That happened to him. But he has righted himself, and to play with Jamal Murray and with Jokic, and how quickly he advances the basketball and can pass the basketball and drive to the basket the way that he does. He is perpetual motion on the court. He's going to fit into the Denver Nuggets and what they want to do extremely well.
There is a big move today that I'm sure Diamondbacks ownership is looking at, as the St. Petersburg City Council voted 5-3 to approve the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, to move and build a $1.3 billion ballpark and mixed-use development project. They've been playing at Tropicana Field for so long, 26 years, and they've been looking for options. They've been trying to find something that would work, and it looks as though politics and sports worked in this one, and they are going to get this. It's 86-acre site there in St. Petersburg, so thought that was a pretty interesting news today for them.
It is by far the worst baseball park in the country, and has been ever since they constructed it. It's just awful. And they've had a Final Four there as well, and people complained that it was, even though they have Final Fours now in football stadiums, that one in the baseball stadium there was just dreadful. It was poorly designed, poorly constructed. You had panels falling off the ceiling there, and the players hated it. But yet, Tampa Bay, when you think about them, look where they have gone. They've won World Series. It's amazing with what they have accomplished in such a shabby facility.
Well, one really bad facility is where the Oakland Athletics played.
That's correct.
But the league, Major League Baseball, the 2025 schedule has come out, and the A's are scheduled to play their first game in Sacramento on March 31st of next year. And they're going to go without the city name. They have 3 7-game homestands, have 1 4-game series, and 1 3-game series. No off days between them. So basically, they are kind of condensing it. They're not going to have as many home games as they would if they were playing in Oakland. But they'll be playing in Sacramento, where the River Cats currently play, and they will be on the road when the A's are at home.
Right.
So the River Cats are still going to play there. They are concerned about the synthetic surface that they have and how hot it gets there in Sacramento during the summer. But they're going to share with a minor league team until the ballpark gets built in Vegas.
What else could they do? The only other thing they could do, Rock, was to go to Vegas and play in the AAA park that's there in Vegas, which is awful.
No, that ballpark's pretty nice.
No, which is awful because of the heat in Vegas that I'm talking about. Yeah, because it's like here, where Sacramento,
I know
Sacramento about 100.
All right, I know we get beat up about the heat,
yes,
all right, and it is an issue.
Yes.
But for 32, 33 years, the Phoenix Firebirds played here in the Valley. started at Phoenix Muni, went to Scottsdale Stadium.
Right.
Granted, you're not getting 30, 40,000 fans on a Saturday night, but you are getting 7, 8, 9,000 fans on a Saturday night. Mister's going crazy.
Right.
No day games. Games all started at 7:05 or whatever it was, maybe a little earlier on Saturdays. And it worked.
Oh, I know it worked.
Tucson Toros.
The
Houston, Colorado. I mean, they were a Houston affiliate. And then Vegas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're not going to get the big numbers, but it can be done.
They will sell out in Sacramento.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
I think no question. I mean,
that's a given.
But I know people don't want to say, all right, we'll play at Scottsdale Stadium because same thing with the Diamondbacks. What's going to happen with they want a new stadium. I mean, Chase is one of the oldest stadiums in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the Trop is one of the worst.
Yeah,
you can almost make an argument. Some feel that Chase is pretty bad, but I don't think it's that bad at all.
I don't.
I mean, I think I like it actually, and I do like it when the roof's open, or at least the vents or whatever you call those things.
I don't mind. I don't mind down at Chase Field, the Trop, because it was a not a dome but a roofed stadium. It was just terrible. It never really worked at all, and I'm just happy that Tampa Bay is finally going to get something that will be modern and designed for Major League Baseball as well.
Sun Devils men's basketball team is in the news today. They're going to participate in the Basketball Hall of Fame Classic, which will be in December, and it'll take place that is in UMass and Springfield. UMass will play Arizona State, and Rhode Island will play Temple. So the 2024 Basketball Hall of Fame Classic. So that's good there.
That'll be fun.
Coming up, we're going to get you caught up in the British Open. It was a very interesting day. We saw some big-time players put up some big-time scores. So Jax will have that for us coming up here in just a little bit. And then Howard Balzer will stop by, talk some NFL football with him as well. One other story to bring up is the AIA, the Arizona Interscholastic Association, the Fiesta Sports Foundation are going to be doing a preseason boys tackle and girls flag football event. They're going to honor a bunch of kids, 29 boys, 21 girls at the football kickoff, which is going to be the Fairmount Scottsdale Princess on Thursday, August 15th. And Larry Fitzgerald is the keynote speaker, the 2024 College Football Hall of Fame inductee.
And your guy, executive director for Fiesta Sports, CEO Eric Moses, is going to be in charge putting all this together.
Yeah, it's all part of the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great that they're doing a lot of high school stuff.
Yeah.
Again, coming up, we'll get you caught up in the British Open, as well as a little throwback here on a Thursday. It's Roc and Manuch, Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Problems on I-10. There's a big rig fire, semi-fire, that has closed eastbound 10 near Baseline. Yeah, 10 eastbound closed near Baseline. Traffic sitting there back to about University Drive. And a crash westbound 10 near 16th Street, sitting off left.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k, employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Life's a sprint. Need G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
In the market for an electric charger for your place? Looking to upgrade your under cabinet or closet lighting? Look no further than Arizona Electrical Family. From service calls to new home installations, home remodels, and even TV mounting, we've got you covered. Visit azelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392 to learn more about our comprehensive services and to schedule your free quote today. Power up with the best. Visit azelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AZ Electrical Family. Quality service you can trust.
It's right for Wright Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Wright Toyota and WrightToyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, WrightToyota.com.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by two words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use
You doing the Vans update?
ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Time for your latest Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B leaderboard update presented by Vans Golf Shops.
It's just in time. Again at the PGA Championship.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Vans Golf Shops. Unmatched service, unmatched.
Just hold highlight on the other side here.
Gets this on the green. He'll have a putt to take the lead on his own. Oh, what a shot that is. Will it grab? It does. A phenomenal shot.
Here's the putt.
Brown to take the lead on his own. He pours it in the middle. That was never missing.
You're hot.
What a round from Brown.
The 29-year-old Englishman leads the British Open after one round at 6 under, followed by Shane Lowry at 5 under, Justin Thomas 3 under, and a ton of guys, including Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Justin Rose, all at 2 under. Some notable names at the bottom of the leaderboard. John Rahm tied for 42nd at 2 over. Colin Morikawa also at 2 over. Ludwig Aberg, Ludwig, and Victor Hovland, both at 4 over. And then you keep going down. You see some notable names. Tommy Fleetwood, Bryson DeChambeau at 5 over apiece. But I think the most shocking, and I know Tiger Woods 8 over is shocking to some people, but I still think the most shocking thing of today is Rory McIlroy's 7 over.
I was shocked at that as well. I expected him to play a lot better. He played really well at the Scottish Open the week before. I thought that would translate into his game beginning today. And man, oh man, he was like lost in space. Difficult day.
So looking at the sports odds right now after one round, Scotty Scheffler also at 1 under to note there. He is favored at plus 400, followed by Shane Lowry at plus 500, Xander Schauffele plus 550, and your leader, Mr. Brown. He is
Daniel Brown
plus 3,000 to win the British Open. So the sports books do not believe he will hold on for 3 more days.
Rock and I had to look him up.
Yeah, I didn't
know who he was either.
I was like, oh, what's this all about?
Yeah.
You know, so, oh, well. Third episode of Hard Knocks set the record straight in regards to Saquon Barkley in that he did not blindside, or some say burned, the New York Football Giants organization for trying to bring him back. And we're gonna play some of the sound. And Shu, let's set it up with the owner, John Mara, who first said that he's going to lose sleep if Saquon Barkley goes to Philadelphia. Of course, that's where he went. But listen to this. This is courtesy of HBO's Hard Knocks.
What's the latest? Just on the Saquon thing.
I just got a text that Chicago's driving the price up and Philly's out. I don't know if that's true or not. Which I don't know. I'll make a couple of calls. I don't even know if that's gonna happen, but
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'll tell you that. As I've told you, just being out. I've been around enough players. So, but he's the most popular player we have by far.
Yeah.
Well, he's in Philly.
To the rival,
Yeah.
which obviously did not sit well with Giant fans. They were not happy about this at all, which rightfully so. I mean, you're losing one of the best running backs in the game currently.
Yep.
But what I thought was interesting that came out again today is the GM's final conversation with the agent. So this is kind of makes it a little bit more clear on how it all went down and that the Giants did have an opportunity to match it.
good day for you. Good day to be Ed Berry. What's my man gonna get? North of what you said?
12.5 APY, 25 guaranteed.
North of that? Again, we're not gonna go there. We're out. Is it in the division? I'm trying to prepare myself mentally for what's gonna happen. I mean, that's all. Okay.
Hold.
All right, player.
Hold.
You like the optionality of free agency, but the prices suck.
The price isn't just the uncertainty. We have no control over this.
None.
We have no control over it.
You can make offers, do all the homework that we want, stay up till 5 in the morning doing scenarios.
Well, I mean, think about all the meetings, all the film, here all weekend, like just to come up with these names, these price points, and it's totally out of your control.
I think it's absolutely amazing.
It is.
To hear that.
Yeah.
At what goes on behind the scenes. They just lost their star player, their most popular player in the same division. Barkley ends up signing a $37.75 million contract. It was just 11.6 signing bonus, $26 million of it guaranteed. His average annual salary is 12.5 and some change. Just crazy money, but that's how it all worked out. Giants had an opportunity to match it.
Well, that's why the NFL stands for not for long, because the Giants let him walk. They had an opportunity to keep the guy, and they refused to offer up that kind of money for him. I mean, you being an Eagles fan, Rock, you're like overjoyed, where Giants fans are devastated.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. I'm not a fanatic like I'm jumping up and down and pounding Yinglings because the Eagles got Saquon Barkley.
I understand.
But I do think they're favored to get to the Super Bowl. I'll make my prediction right now. It's Eagles-Ravens.
Wow.
Eagles going to win it.
Wow.
I know it's tough because everybody's going to be on that Chiefs.
Everybody's
on the Chiefs.
I'm on the 49ers.
I like the 49ers too. I think the NFC championship game is going to come down to Hurts versus Purdy. Who's a better quarterback?
Yeah.
Clearly it's Hurts.
I'm
you homers.
No.
We're not homers.
No, I was just thinking. I'm not
come
in.
on.
I'm not in on the Chiefs because I still think the Miami Dolphins are going to have something to say about this.
Do you really?
Yes,
What?
I do.
I don't see that at all.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
unless
I
they
do.
sign. I think. All right, here I'll agree with that. If Tual doesn't sign, because then he's playing for a contract.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So
I
if they
mean,
don't sign,
I remember
they have talent on that team.
No, I'm not saying they don't. You see players that play for a contract their last
Yes.
year or whatever.
Yep.
Like, I'll never forget Anquan Bolden, Darnell Dockett. those guys had tremendous last year deals, or their the last contract their last year, or getting ready to get an extension. They played their so-called balls off, right?
Yeah.
And then
nothing.
Yeah, they got paid.
I'm still wavering and thinking about that AFC. I really am. And look, I know Baltimore is a popular pick along with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I just think that
Three.
Miami's going to have something to say about it. Shu would tell you that the New York Jets are going to have something to say about it.
I don't think he will.
And I will. Yes, he will. And I will.
No, he won't.
I'll say this about
he knows his sports.
Well, I'm going to say that the Jets have an excellent defense. And their problem last year was that they lost their quarterback on the fourth play of the first game of the season. So I think the Jets are in the mix. I just think that Miami has just loaded up at just the right time.
A team that I would like to see have success, but not too much success. I think it was great for the league last year was the Detroit Lions.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I was jumping on their bandwagon.
I was too.
Just like I think a lot of people would jump on the Cardinals bandwagon because it's just those are two teams that have been around forever that have not had a lot of success.
There you go.
I mean, there are if Joe Burrow stays healthy, the Bengals could make a run.
Yeah.
The Bills, I don't know, man. I think I wonder if that window was last year.
I'm out a little bit now on the Bills just because of A, the Dolphins, and B, the Jets. So I think Buffalo is going to struggle even within their division.
The odds makers, and they kind of know what's going on.
Yep.
Chiefs, 49ers, Ravens, Lions, Eagles, Bengals, Texans, Bills, Packers, Cowboys.
Wow.
Then Jets.
Wow.
I think the Jets are getting a little too much credit.
I knew you would say that.
Well, what kind of Aaron Rodgers are we going to see?
Well, wouldn't you see a quality quarterback?
Quality, yes.
He doesn't have to be a superstar every game. He just has to be a quality QB with that defense that they have. They've got a great running back in Breece Hall. They've shored up the offensive line. And so their defense is what is going to make or break them, and their defense was very good last year.
He's a guy coming off a pretty severe injury.
I understand.
He's 40 years old.
Yeah.
He'll be 41 years old in December.
Yep.
I think you have to play it. You have to consider that as a factor.
I've considered it, which is why I said if he has quality play.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be superstar play, quality play.
Howard Balzer, we're going to talk some Arizona Cardinal football with him. Camp gets started week. Howard will join us next. We're out here at Twin Peaks, Scottsdale.
Gold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Suns beat the Thunder yesterday for their first win of Summer League, and they're back at it tomorrow versus the Bucks. The Cardinals signed running back Trey Benson, their third-round draft pick, to a standard 4-year rookie deal. All 12 of their 2024 draft classes now under contract. The Mercury opened their state-of-the-art $100 million, 58,000-square-foot practice facility today. The Diamondbacks have their 2025 schedule. They'll begin the season March 27th at home against the Cubs. The Snakes will begin the second half of this season tomorrow, also against the Cubs. Starting pitchers have not been announced. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, very slight chance of seeing an isolated thunderstorm or two overnight low right around 92, and then a hot day on your Friday. Temperatures right around 115 degrees. Keep in mind, we'll be under an excessive heat warning through Saturday. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings, bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Hey, it's Jax, co-host of Take the Points, the only local sports gambling radio show in Arizona. Tune in every Saturday from 11 to 1, live right here from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Let's cash some tickets.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner and Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
An all-in-one wireless copier and printer or IT help for your business? Call Document Solutions of the Valley, the official copier and IT solutions company for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Document Solutions is leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. They'll support your business no matter how big or small. Take advantage of either buying, leasing, or renting many makes and models of copiers. For a free quote, call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple,
Howard's good.
Affordable, reliable.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. Caitlin Clark scored 24 points and set a WNBA single-game record with 19 assists, but the Indiana Fever dropped its final game before the Olympic break, falling 101-93 to the Dallas Wings. 6 Dallas players scored in double figures, led by Arike Ogunbowale and Odyssey Sims, who both had 24 points in the win. For more women's sports stories, be sure to subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2x miles on everything you buy. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Howard, you ready to go? Is it time? Is it training camp time? You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready, baby. Next week. Full force, man. Full force.
And it looks as though the Cardinals are opening up a lot of practices so fans can get out there, which is a good sign. And being more fan-friendly this year. I think it's pretty much the last couple of years they have, right?
Yeah. You know, most of the time, most practices, you know, are open during camp. They don't really have that many anymore, and especially with the 1 week where they're going to be in Indianapolis practicing against the Colts. Like all the teams, they have a bunch of practices open. So I know that, you know, they have, you know, a couple practices that are open only to season ticket holders. But, you know, next week, the players report on Tuesday, and they're going to have there's first practices on Wednesday. That's not open to the public, but then the public will be there Thursday. And I think through the weekend, when they have what the NFL calls back together again.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all back together again. And so, yeah, it's starting in full force all over the NFL. And a couple teams, you know, several teams have reported with their rookies already. The Cardinals have their rookies and veterans coming at the same time. The Texans veterans report, I believe they reported today, they're earlier, and the Bears in a couple of days, they're earlier than other teams because they're in the Hall of Fame game. Just believe it or not, is 2 weeks from today.
Wow.
Is the Hall of Fame game in Canton. So, you know, that's how close it is.
Howard, Trey Benson, last one to sign, so all 12 are in from the class of the 2024. There is no doubt, right? No doubt that Trey was going to sign?
No, I had said that all along. I think you've asked me that a couple times, and I said I think the main reason that it was taking a while was that his agent was waiting to see what the guy taking first in that third round, because Benson was taken second in the round and Malachi Corley from the Jets was taken first in that round. So he just wanted to make sure that where that contract landed. And so Benson will land right in between him and the guy picked after him. And when Corley signed late Tuesday, I tweeted yesterday, I said, hey, this is going to happen soon now, because that one's out of the way, and I'm sure Benson will sign very soon. And sure enough, the very next day, he did sign. So all taken care of, and he can collect the signing bonus and get it deposited in the bank, and then concentrate on, trying to be a great tandem with James Conner.
Howard Balzer is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Howard, let me follow up with that, because the Cardinals have really kind of made no secret about this. They want to run the football. They'd like to be somewhat of a ball control team. If indeed they have success with that, will the onus be on the defense and that weaker secondary to hold up their end of the bargain if the offense has success with what they're trying to do?
Well, there's no doubt if you can have balance in your offense and run the football and be successful. It's easy to say we want to have balance and we want to, control the ball on the ground, but you still have to be successful doing that. I mean, if you run the ball on first down and you don't do anything, it's 2nd and 10, and then all of a sudden you're going, we better throw the ball now. So a lot of times game situations dictate that, but they were certainly successful at it at the end of the year. And a lot of times the teams that run the ball well and have good numbers at the end of the year are teams that have their running back carrying the ball in the fourth quarter when they have a lead. And so you want to milk that. And so all those things, the game situation is dictated. But in terms of defense, absolutely. I mean, if you're moving the football, you're getting first downs, whether it's running or passing, whatever it might be, you keep the clock going. Well, guess what? That keeps your defense off the field. And so I think one of the biggest things to watch, you nailed it, Jim, is, what is this cornerback position going to look like? It's a very young group, right now, with Sean Murphy-Bunting, the veteran of the group, really at corner. Then you have Garrett Williams in his second year, 3 rookies that were drafted. So how that's all going to play out, I think, is going to be interesting. But the other part of it, in terms of stopping the run, and when you can do that, then you can get a pass rush. And I think that, the biggest thing for this team will be that defensive line. And how improved will it be with the additions of Darius Robinson in the draft, with the additions of Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones and even Kairos Tonga in free agency? How much will those guys be able to improve that defensive line with the return also in the second year of Dante Stills? So that's going to be a real key, I think, for this team on defense, is how that defensive line plays.
Concern at corners, defensive backs, a little light there. A lot of unknown, a lot of young guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned. Yeah, you are a little bit, but in terms of what they've done, I mean, they spent solid money on Murphy-Bunting. He's a veteran who's played good football in the league. I'm not going to sit here and say he's in the elite, but he's a good corner. And then you draft Max Melton on the second round, and you draft the other Elijah Jones in the third round. I believe that's his name. And so when you draft guys in the second or third round, you expect them to come in and play well. But I really think the guy to watch is Garrett Williams, because this was a guy who probably would have been, maybe not probably, he had a chance to be a first-round pick last year if he hadn't torn his ACL in college. And so the Cardinals ended up getting him in the third round, which was, I think, a steal. And he played well at the end of the season. He's versatile. He can play on the outside. He can play in the slot. I think he's going to be a huge key in how that secondary plays. And, the reality is the Cardinals have one of the best tandems, even though Jalen Thompson doesn't seem to get any respect outside of Arizona and from all the people put together all those top safety lists. But that guy's a hell of a player, and he makes plays. And you couple him with Budda Baker, and hopefully with that line, that'll take pressure off those corners and they can get in there and play well. But, yeah, you're right. It's very young, and you're hoping those young guys come in and can play well right out of them, right when the season starts.
Okay, so you referenced the defensive line. Are they going to be able to generate some sort of a significant pass rush?
Well, most of the pass rush comes from the outside linebackers. You'd like to get some pass rush from the line, certainly. And Dante still showed a bit of that last year. You know, the two guys they signed right at the start of free agency, Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols, have had some success rushing from the inside. They're not going to put up big numbers, but they do have the ability to get pressure. But where the pass rush has to totally come from are from those outside linebackers, and that's where everyone's talked about B.J. Ojolari and the jump that they expect him to take in year 2. That'll be a big part of it. How much will Zaven Collins improve in his second year playing on the outside? You have Dennis Gardeck, who's a great rotational guy, and heck, led the team last year with 6 sacks. Not a huge number, but he didn't play that many sacks. That many snaps, I should say. So, and then you have a 5th-round pick who they're hopeful of, Xavier Thomas. So I think that's where the pass rush, most of it, will have to come from, and we'll see if a lot of those guys improve and are able to get the job done on a consistent basis. But, so much of the pass rush, guys, comes when you're in those obvious passing situations. And that, again, gets back to stopping the run. So you get in more of those obvious passing situations, and you can just rear back and get after the quarterback.
Howard Balzer here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Howard, CBS compiled a list of the top 5 logical landing spots for Brandon Ayuk. The Cardinals were among one of those 5 teams in a possible trade destination. This team would be a lot of fun to watch if they could get Ayuk, wouldn't you say?
They would be, but I don't. For this reason, first of all, there's 2 reasons why I don't consider it logical.
Okay.
One, are the 49ers going to trade him within the division? I think that's unlikely.
Yep.
Now, if they're back against the wall and the Cardinals are the only team interested, maybe they would. But you have to consider this: what kind of are the Cardinals going to be willing to pay Brandon Ayuk a 4 or 5 year deal with a huge amount of guaranteed money and a contract averaging in the high, around $30 million a year? Are they going to be willing to do that? I don't think so. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because I don't know that it's worthwhile to do that with a guy at this stage. Let's remember, it seems like a long way off, but guess what? And Marvin Harrison plays at the level you expect. He's going to be getting a new contract. And who knows what the average per year will be for wide receivers in a few years. And so I just, I like Brandon Ayuk. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I just don't see that as being, a great move for the Cardinals in terms of the money that they would have to invest in him, and some of the money they're going to have to start investing in some of their younger players when their contracts come up.
Howard Balzer is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So take me to this, okay? Everybody believes it's the 49ers, and maybe the Rams are going to be good enough, but no one is talking about the Seattle Seahawks or the Arizona Cardinals. So in your estimation, with what we have going on now as training camp is starting to open up, where is Seattle in the mix? Are they the number 4 team, or is that still going to be reserved for Arizona?
Well, in Lindy's magazine, we had the Seahawks landing at 4th and the Cardinals at 3rd. We know preseason projections sometimes don't mean a whole lot.
3.
But I think the Seahawks have a lot of questions to answer. They're a pretty good team. They have a new head coach. They have Geno Smith at quarterback, who's done a nice job, the last 2 seasons, and they have good talent around him on offense. So if they would finish 4th and the Cardinals finish ahead of them, it's not going to be by a lot of games. It might be because the Cardinals are 8-9 and the Seahawks are 7-10, or maybe the Cardinals are able to win 9. Who knows how a season is going to go? But I think this Cardinals team, I think we've talked about a lot of the questions that there are. But if some of those questions start getting answered in the affirmative, and you start winning some of those close games you lose, and you gain that confidence, and you can build up some momentum, I see no reason why the Cardinals, can't challenge even the Rams for second place. I still believe the 49ers are right there as maybe the best team in the NFL. So that might be a tough one to really get to at this point in the Cardinals' development. But heck, the Rams won 10 games last year.
2.
It was solid. They was in the playoffs, but it's not a great record. I don't think that's that far off for the Cardinals. And so much depends on how they, how good a start do you get out to and start really, playing with a lot of confidence.
Howard, I know it's way too early, but you did say you think San Francisco 49ers are one of the best teams in the league. So if I'll put you on the spot on an early Super Bowl prediction, not who's going to win, but who the two teams that you think will end up in the Super Bowl.
Well, the prediction that I made in the Lindy's, which probably has little chance of happening, but I figured, hey, why not? I had it the Chiefs and the 49ers again.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that's going to happen.
Popular.
But certainly they have as good a chance as anybody. And you know, Detroit is going to be in the running, for getting to the Super Bowl. You can't count out the Ravens. The AFC North, obviously, is very strong. But we also know that, like you said, it's a 17-game season. There's going to be injuries that affect teams. There's going to be a lot of things that happen, between now and February. And so, but looking at it on paper now, I think those teams are the best. But that doesn't mean that someone else can't jump up and enter the fray. I mean, who would have predicted last year at this moment that the Houston Texans would win 10 games?
Yeah.
I don't think there was anybody in their right mind.
And Rams. Yeah.
Right. Would have predicted that. So, that's the beauty of the NFL. And there's only 17 games. And really, I've always said this, guys, there's not that much difference between winning 7 and winning 10. It might be coming down to 3 or 4 close games that you lose instead of win. And that's how it can flip so quickly in the league where, more than 50% of the games are decided by one score or less. And here's a stat that pretty much is really indicative. Close to 75% of the games on a yearly basis are one-score games in the fourth quarter at some point. And the good teams, obviously, are the ones that find a way to win those games in the fourth quarter.
Howard, your boy Jimmy B, he's an ESPN guy, so he's got Jets and 49ers.
No, I had Miami. I know you were going to say that.
Same thing.
Yeah, and those are certainly plausible, developments. And the thing about it, we know, is that when you get into the postseason, and I would think that those teams would, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy all year. I mean, I mentioned about winning 7 and winning 10. I mean, the Jets won 7 last year with mediocre at best quarterback play. So if Aaron Rodgers is healthy all year, who knows? And once you get into the postseason, obviously when you're one and done, anything can happen in any one game, and it's right there for anyone, to play well for a couple games in a row and make it to New Orleans. So I think that's the beauty of the NFL.
That's Howard Balzer, Cardinals beat writer for Cardinals or Cards Wire at USA Today. You can follow him on Twitter at hbalzer721. Howard, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Have a good week.
You too, guys. Take care.
Howard Balzer joining us. Coming up, we are fact-checking something Jimmy B said today. I don't know what the results are, but I'm anxious. It has something to do with Pete Rose and Jim Brinson. It's next. Fox Sports 910.
Where does your standard amount of bucks not cut it? Time to line your pockets with bonus bucks. Fat stacks of cash. Be listening every weekday for your chance to win $1,000. Oh my God! Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, Arizona, it's your local accident attorney, Kevin Rowe. Results matter, so we want to help you win $1,000. Powered by Lerner and Rowe Accident Attorneys, where we treat you like family. In a wreck, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today at 977-1900.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
10 eastbound at 107th Avenue. We have an accident blocking the HOV lane. A crash is sitting off right. 10 eastbound near 35th Avenue. And 10 eastbound near Baseline Road. A vehicle fire has 3 right lanes blocked.
This report is sponsored by Desert Diamond West Valley. Valley's newest place to work is filled with exciting career opportunities. It's Desert Diamond White Tanks at San Lucie, opening in late 2024 and hiring right now. Visit dbcaz.com to learn more.
There's something kinds of to it, the obsession with every detail and the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hey, it's Jax, co-host of Take the Points, the only local sports gambling radio show in Arizona. Tune in every Saturday from 11 to 1, live right here from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Let's cash some tickets.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Do you ever have a case of the Mondays? You won't if you tune in to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from 1 till 4 as they broadcast.
Got to come back clean because we don't have a ton of time here.
CAZ Sports Bar. That's every Monday from Casino, Arizona. Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerator section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy, straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and you deliver.
What?
Wash, it smells so clean.
What?
You rinse and refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh.
In Peak, Scottsdale, located on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in the 101. Wake up with the drive. Jody Ayler tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910 and on our free iHeartRadio app.
All right, we had to fact check one Jim Princeton who said that he did radio with Pete Rose in Vegas.
Yes.
This is coming off a conversation that he went to Will Chamberlain's house to use the bathroom. But I have it confirmed, as well as our last guest, Howard Balzer, also did a radio show with Pete Rose while they were in Vegas. Was it a gambling show?
No, no, we did it. It was on the old Sports Fan Radio Network.
Remember?
We were a national show. The show began, I believe, about 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So it was 9 o'clock on the East Coast. And it was Howard, myself, Pete Rose, Dave Koken was there, who works in Vegas as well. And so we just kind of rotated around. And Pete was the star of the show. We had a lot of fun.
I wish I could remember, gosh, who was the pitcher that he did radio with who was also a Cincinnati Red? Many years.
Wasn't Rob Dibble?
Yes,
okay.
Rob Dibble. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm good for something. Not
I know.
much.
We got 2 minutes left in the show.
Yeah,
I'm glad you could bring something.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, I would say so. You know. Hey, tomorrow Doug Plank is going to join us. He's actually doing some television this year with Ian Gold for the Mountain West Conference.
I like that.
So we'll talk to him. Steve Jones, U.S. Open champion tomorrow. We'll also get Steve Dalby as well at some point to talk about the British Open as today. Weather obviously played into the results. It was kind of a roller coaster ride with wet weather, with the wind pretty flat early and then kind of got crazy, then got flat again, then got crazy. So all weekend it's supposed to rain. So anxious to see what that turns out to be. But we want to thank Mike Yam of the NFL Network for joining us today, as well as Howard Balzer and Steve Dalby, who came down to visit with us because it's last day of bikini costume day here at Twin Peaks. They're going to take a week off, and then they're going to bring it back towards the
2
end
minutes.
of the month and go till August.
Okay.
So today at all 5 locations, Twin Peaks happy hour going on right now. It goes on from 3 to 6.
Jackson and I are going to hang out here for a little while after you leave.
No, I'm leaving.
Oh, Bikini Week. Huh?
I'm good. I'm
okay.
leaving.
So you're going to go
You're
home.
just a dirty old man, aren't you,
Damn
Jimmy?
straight. So you're going to
So
go home.
why don't you go be that guy in the booth? Go sit in that corner by yourself.
I don't do that.
And have all the ladies
No,
come
no,
over
no,
and serve you.
I
Can I
go
get another Red Bull?
I go talk to him is what I do. Other than Jax, who is like,
we got to work on Jax.
We got to help him out.
on my jobs.
No, you're locked in. Yeah.
There's college football to be played,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
you
What
know
are we
he's
doing
gonna
here?
do? He's
Play
going to
video
go home.
games.
He's going to go home and play football video.
Now the thing about when you and I talked about this, the thing about Jax is he probably has a girl. He just doesn't want us to know because if he does,
I really don't have a
because if
girl.
he does,
I wish I did. I would tell you guys. Though.
I mean,
I really don't.
He'd be bragging about it if he did.
I won't charge you. I'll help you out. I mean, all you got to do is stand at the front door here, or actually stand where we are right now because they go through a shift change. And they're all going to get ready to get it's a powwow to get you ready for the night shift.
Yep.
And they're all popping in bikinis. I mean, all of them could be my kids.
See, Jax, there you go. He talks about me being the dirty old man.
I'm
Look at
not
Rock.
setting him
Look
up.
Look at Rock. Rock knew there was a shift change, and you should be able to be here.
We've been coming here for 10 years.
Yeah, likely excuse.
Oh, you just don't pay attention. You're too
Oh,
old
no, I
to
pay
know what's
attention,
going on.
trust me.
Oh, man.
My motor's still on 95 miles an
20.
hour.
Shu, thanks for making it through the show with us today. We'll do it again tomorrow, 1 o'clock at Wright Toyota. For Jimmy B, for Jax, for Shu, I'm Rock.
10.